This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
You all ready for this? Dun 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 dun.
This is a sham.
No. Nope.
Y'all, just stop.
Welcome to DBL. It's Tuesday, October 5th. I'm Tori here with my good pals, Jeff and Al. You guys feeling good?
Feeling great.
Feeling ready?
Yeah, I got a dentist appointment. I'm like October 5th, dentist.
Ooh, all right.
Guess what time it is?
Tooth hurty.
Damn.
All right.
We've been doing this show too long.
It's really sad that I know that. All right, did you all survive the big blackout? Of course, we're talking about the Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp outage. In case you didn't notice and you live under a rock, the major social media sites disappeared from the internet for hours yesterday. Now, they are back up. They're working now after Facebook says it fixed a server issue. Now, during the outage, CEO Mark Zuckerberg lost an estimated, you ready for this? $6 billion in a matter of hours. Meanwhile, the company lost out on nearly $100 million in revenue, according to Fortune. Now, Twitter capitalized on the outage, tweeting, "Hello, literally everyone." I love Twitter and their sassy little avatar.
Good one, Twitter.
Oh.
You didn't dig it?
No, I was silly.
Pinterest had something funny to say. I don't remember, but I do like when they banter.
Yeah, banter. Okay, let me start. Yesterday, I rarely post now on social media. I decided to post yesterday.
And then you can't.
And I'm like, what is going on? I forgot how to post. And Jordan's like, it's not working. And I was like going crazy trying to post this thing yesterday. Finally got it out. Probably nobody watched it because the internet was down.
The internet was down.
Great timing with that.
Good timing.
I don't buy that he lost $6 billion. I'm not buying that. I have a little conspiracy theory.
There is theories.
Okay,
There are
here's
theories.
mine. This is mine. I didn't see
Jeff's
it.
conspiracy theory.
Yeah, I think it's BS that they said he lost $6 billion. I think Facebook's getting some pushback, social media is getting some pushback, and they want to say, you know what, I'm going to show you what life is like without me. 6 hours down. I don't think they ate that much money.
I kind of agree with you and thought,
Interesting.
if
I
you
had not thought
want
about
me to
that.
go away, I'll show you what it's like when we go away.
It's like that old high school breakup. I'm leaving for good, but you don't really get in your car. You're just kind of in the bushes.
You're just stalker. Let me ask you a question here. At some point, I went on a 90s walk yesterday, which is, do you guys know a 90s walk?
Absolutely not.
You put your phone away.
Dr. Dre?
No, you just walk without any cell phone. No one can reach you. You're not on your music. You're just yourself. And I got to hear the birds, and I got to see the birds, and I got to be in the moment. And I thought, good for all of us to have a day without this craziness.
Yeah, I think there's two different ways to look at it.
Do you hear the birds?
I don't, because I'm listening to music I like.
Okay.
On your Discman?
Yeah, I know, right? I was like, they had Walkmans in the 80s, so
I
you could still.
I know.
But I get it, and I appreciate when people feel like they need to reconnect. But I feel like it's almost better for me to reconnect with what I like to do. So, for example, in the mornings, I know you listen to a lot of positivity. I like to get ready for the show, so I start listening to news. But I realized that at 8:59, I don't need to hear something terrible somebody said and that 4 kids got shot. It's factual. It'll help me get ready for the show. But for me, having 20 minutes of like low-level, lo-fi house music, just getting it going a little bit, low lights, got my other lights on, like a little mini dance
Is
party.
it a European disco track?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
a little bit, because like when I was in my late 20s, I was in Europe partying. So like it makes me happy and get ready for the day. So I try and find things that make me happy.
I like that.
Little
I like
ooncha,
that.
ooncha, ooncha.
It's more, I'll let you hear it. It's
Okay,
more low
it's
key
not
than that. No.
Okay, good to know.
She just ruined it for
Nobody
for
wants
everyone.
All right, we are finally hearing more from the family of Brian Laundrie. For all of you who are interested, his sister was on GMA talking about the family's camping trip they took with Brian right before his disappearance, and also if they're cooperating with the investigation. So take a look.
We just went for a couple of hours and we ate dinner and had s'mores around the campfire and left. And there was nothing peculiar about it. There was no feeling of grand goodbye. There was nothing. It was not hidden from law enforcement. I've been cooperating with the police since day one. I don't know if my parents are involved. I think if they are, then they should come clean.
Wow. Meantime, Gabby Petito's family are on Dr. Phil today, and they have some very, very strong words for the Laundries. Take a look at this.
He's a coward. Flat out. I'd use some other words, but I can't use them on your show. He's a coward.
He's too coward to kill himself, too coward to come forward.
Yep.
He's just on the run.
Dad, anyone that lived in that house is a coward, and they don't know how to stand up for their actions.
Thoughts on what he said, and also, where is he? Why can't we find him? Makes me crazy thinking about how good he is at hiding. It's just crazy. Al, what do you think?
I wanted to hear what Jeff had to say. I think that this entire situation is strange in terms of how this was handled just from day one. If I can't find my daughter with her boyfriend, there are not enough stoplights, not enough police to keep me and a bunch of the fellas to heading over to her parents' house. There is none of this like, hey, can you let us know? They were real cordial about this, Jeff. Maybe I should learn about this, but I think this is what happens when you are not proactive, when you are not now you can't leave kind of situation. When you go, hey, if you get around to it, can you tell me where my daughter is? I don't know if that worked in the situation, legal or not, and I'm not saying do anything illegal.
And I know what you're alluding to because I have the same feelings.
We're dads.
Your dads, yeah.
I would run through a wall for my kids. I don't send texts like, hit me back. I can't find my daughter. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, and Al, you weren't on the show the other day, and we talked about something maybe last week, and I was like, I don't know, I might cover up for my son if he did something. I took that back the next day because I'm like, you know what? I would be a coward. If my son did something like this or didn't face the music, what would I be to my community, to my other son, God forbid someone did, to my family, to
your God?
Yeah, like I wouldn't be able to live with myself. I would want. I mean, geez, I don't even want to say this, but they'd have to face the music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I thought about that on the ride home after we talked, and I was like, you know what? I got to tell Al I changed my mind because you thought less of me. I know you did.
No, I didn't. No.
I
didn't think less of you. I thought so much of you. I was like, you're the dad that would tell the kid, like, we're going to go there together and turn yourself in.
Yeah.
Like, that's who you are as a dad. So, like,
he makes me, like, emotional.
Yeah,
like,
I never thought less of you, man.
Thought less of me.
Oh, God, no, man. I love you, bro. Come on, man.
Yeah, I know.
Dude,
yeah.
On the show, just so you know, I remember him looking at you and says, no, you wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
You wouldn't do that.
I think,
we know you.
No, but I think your natural instinct as a parent is like, you go back to caveman days. Protect who's in this cave. And that means even against the law, but then after you have a chance to think about it, then you make the right decision.
Yeah,
absolutely.
all right.
Do you want some ice cream and talk about it? Watch some rom-coms? You okay?
I'm crying on national television. You're going to throw stones
I'm just kidding. I was trying to.
First of all, that's not stones. I want ice cream.
I do too. All right, to boldly.
Last time I open up, people wonder why men don't open up. This is why.
I apologize. To boldly go where no 90-year-old man has ever gone before. Just like Captain Kirk, William Shatner is going to space next week on the Blue Origin's rocket.
Oh my goodness!
He came out of nowhere. Wow. Jeff Bezos. That was like a ninja. He'll be the oldest person ever to fly to space. Here's what he said about it on the Today Show.
I'm going to see the vastness of space and the extraordinary miracle of our Earth and how fragile it is compared to the forces at work in the universe. That's really what I'm looking for.
So I don't know about you. I'm a Trekkie. I'm a Jean-Luc Picard Trekkie, The Next Generation, TNG.
I've never heard you mention.
That's because I know you don't appreciate Star Trek.
How do you know that?
My mother, when she was sick, or she still is sick, but bedridden, she would watch Star Trek to get her through it. So we grew up on Jean-Luc Picard and the morals of Star Trek, which is actually a really interesting multicultural community up in space that doesn't care about race. And Gene Roddenberry, who created it, was a vision, and his ashes were exploded into space. Isn't that amazing?
What did that have to do with William Shatner?
He's on Gene Roddenberry's Star Trek. I'm just saying many people know about space because of William Shatner.
William Shatner let us know about space? What about John Glenn and Neil Armstrong?
Do you understand what I'm saying? Star Trek.
Never. Hey, I got a question. He was wearing red in there. Doesn't he usually wear yellow? What's the significance?
Well, red shirts, if you don't know, I'll let you know. On a Trekkie show, if you're wearing red, you're the first one killed by an alien.
Really?
For sure.
Is that kind of like, is that what the underlings wear?
And I'm wearing red, I get it, but red shirts, hashtag red shirts Trekkie, you know what I'm talking about.
That's
right?
funny. That's interesting.
The red shirt guy, you don't know. You know Shatner, you know this guy Spock.
But wasn't Shatner wearing red?
In that thing, it might have been for Jean-Luc Picard's season, but as soon as you see red, you're like, that guy's dead.
And you don't know their name?
He's like Tommy from Poughkeepsie. He's gone.
All right.
That's
we
him.
sure got to the bottom of that story.
Coming up on DBL. After 46 years of Tricks, Penn and Teller, they're not done yet. You don't want to miss our interview with them coming up, and we show them their styles from 40 years ago. They look crazy. And an undiagnosed breast cancer is on the rise because of the pandemic. Dr. Coley weighs in on what you should do if you've missed routine exams. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. She joins us live coming up next.
Closed captioning provided by
Do the colors
By then he was an admiral.
Exactly. Hi, guys.
They represent
If you
it.
don't know, here, Jeff.
He's talking about the original series.
In Starfleet Academy, the shirts, the colors of the shirts, tell you what rank you are.
You know, like Spock was
Lieutenant.
blue.
Correct. They
It's
tell
not
you.
rank. It's what sort of section, whether you're
Species.
a science officer
Or an engineering. Okay. And so the red shirt guy, famously, the little stars here. And the red shirt guy, if you guys don't know, do you know this, Serena? He would always die, or she would always die first, always. And it was always like me, Al, and then Island and Jeff, and then like Lori, who no one knows. Like, she's gonna get eaten by the big Khan or whatever. Anyway, Star Trek, if you don't know why people like are so deeply into it, the moral code of the Starfleet Academy and space exploration is not to take over any colonization. It's about learning, education, space exploration, finding other communities in space. They're not a warring community up there. They also had the first interracial kiss. If you know, with Shatner had the first interracial kiss on TV. So Gene Roddenberry was with, that's right, and she was gorgeous. Oh, so gorgeous. So the idea for Gene Roddenberry is in the future, we don't care about stupid things like race. We don't care about aliens or Jewish or Muslim because we're all in one group together. And I think it's a beautiful thing.
Isn't there constantly beef with the Klingons?
There was some warring with the Klingons and the Quarks, but I will say this also. Gene Roddenberry's wife is the voice of the computer. So whenever you hear them say, computer, make me a hot tea from 70 degrees, and it 3D prints, she's like, here you are. That's Mrs. Roddenberry.
How many people do you think are watching?
No one. Welcome back to DBL. Now, October kicks off Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and this year, as many as 12,000 women could go undiagnosed with the disease because of the pandemic. I'm going to add some men in there as well. Dr. Coley, thanks for joining us, and I love you're wearing pink.
That's right.
To represent. You look great.
That's awesome.
What should women do if they have skipped, this is a big one, mammograms? I know a lot of you out there have skipped it. It's a regular thing after 40. You haven't done it because you're scared. What do we do now?
You know, Tori, early detection of breast cancer can be the difference between cure and between having a deadly condition. And it breaks my heart because the cancer diagnosis last year just plummeted.
Wow.
Because the virus was winning. We just weren't getting our screening. So there's a few different things we can do. One, of course, get that mammogram. So if you're over the age of 40, once a year, gotta go and get that mammogram.
Guys, let's all agree to do that. I'll do it too when I turn 40 in January on TV. Go ahead.
Oh, 40 in January.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll definitely have to do that. Second is self-breast exams. A lot of women, myself included, put it off. They don't do it. And we know our bodies best. We know what our breasts feel like. So once a month, usually don't do it the week before your period, but any other time, put it on the calendar, do a self-breast exam. And then once a year, you need to see your doctor and have them do an exam.
Excellent.
All right, Tori's just making segments for herself. But Halloween's around the corner, Doc. Vaccinated or not, people are going to be getting together, right? What do we do to keep ourselves safe?
So, you know, Jeff, last year it was such a bummer because there was no trick-or-treating, there was no Thanksgiving, there was no Christmas. This year, it can all be different. We have 2 doors to choose from. Door number 1, have a normal life by getting the vaccine. Door number 2, you're unvaccinated, you can't get together, you can't trick or treat, you can't do the family get together. So I really implore people to think about this today because it takes 6 weeks for your vaccination to fully build up. And that's right around the time when Thanksgiving is going to be here, right?
Good timing then.
So you get that vaccine today, you can have a normal Thanksgiving this year and a normal Christmas this year, except for the shopping because I know we're running out of all the gifts already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's switch gears. We need to talk about high blood pressure. It's something that concerns a lot of people. Definitely runs in my family, like big time, but especially for the people over the age of 60. Now, people might not know that there's something like a common over-the-counter drug that could be dangerous for them in their medicine cabinet. What should people with high blood pressure avoid taking?
You know, I see this all the time, Al, because I'm a cardiologist. So I have people coming into the office, they have high blood pressure, and they end up having a stroke or a heart attack because they're taking ibuprofen, which can raise your blood pressure. They have allergies, and they're taking some kind of decongestant, so Claritin D or Sudafed or something like that. That's a decongestant. They're taking some Tums or some other pill that has sodium in it, like an antacid. So all of these things we get from pharmacies over the counter, we think they're benign, right? Because we can just walk in and pick them up. But it's really important, not just for those with high blood pressure, but even people who have a family history, such as yourself, to pay attention. So ibuprofen, decongestants, and certain medications that contain sodium. So flip it over, look and see what those ingredients are. Don't take those if you have high blood pressure.
That's life-saving. Thank you for that, Doc.
Okay.
Appreciate that. Thank you. If you do have a medical question you want answered by Dr. Coley, just write us on social media. She doesn't bite. She's really lovely. She's very smart. You can also email us at info@dailyblastlive.com. And write me in if you're getting your breast exam or mammograms. I want to hear from all of you out there that we're going to do it together. Coming up on DBL, our interview with the infamous Penn and Teller. You have to see the throwback photos they shared from the start of their careers. Lots of pleather. That's next.
Hey, everyone.
Home treatment for fighting COVID-19 is being shared online. It involves inhaling hydrogen peroxide through a nebulizer, the same device used in treating asthma. So let's verify. Is inhaling nebulized hydrogen peroxide a treatment for COVID-19? We went to these sources for an answer. Inhaling hydrogen peroxide can be hazardous to your health, and you shouldn't do it. The Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America made a stern warning in a September blog post stating, "It is dangerous." Hydrogen peroxide in liquid form is used as a mild antiseptic and an ingredient in household cleaners. While you might be exposed to it when you're cleaning your home or using toothpaste with added hydrogen peroxide, the quantities are diluted enough that it's safe to use. The Agency for Toxic Substances and Disease Registry said inhaling a concentration of 10% or more of hydrogen peroxide can cause severe irritation to the lungs or even burned tissue. In some extreme cases, inhaling it can cause respiratory paralysis. A 2021 trial conducted in Brazil gave mouthwash with 1% hydrogen peroxide and nasal spray with 0.5% hydrogen peroxide to patients with COVID-19. The trial found, quote, insufficient evidence to demonstrate that H2O2 is effective as an auxiliary treatment for hospitalized COVID-19 patients. So we can verify, no, you should not inhale nebulized hydrogen peroxide for any reason, and it's not a COVID-19 treatment. With your Fast Fact, I'm Ariane Till.
Welcome back to DBL. They're not only known for their incredible illusions, but they're also known for their magical friendship. Penn and Teller joined us earlier to chat about the new season of their show, Fool Us. That's today's Chatting with the Stars.
Welcome to the show, guys. How are you doing today?
We're doing great. We're doing great here in Vegas. We're doing wonderfully. How are you all doing?
We're doing well. We got a thumbs up from Teller, so that's good.
Very nice. I'm reading him his whole face. I've been reading the whole time. He's happy.
So you two have been working together. This blew my mind for 46 years, and you posted these pics to celebrate the anniversary. Let's look. Look at this, you guys. I want our viewers to see.
Oh my goodness.
That was us younger.
Oh, wow.
We were doing.
Look at you guys are babies. Your partnership has lasted longer than most marriages. So we want your relationship advice. How do you two make it work?
I don't know if it'll work for a marriage, but we try to keep it as business partners. I mean, we are friends, of course, after 46 years, and my daughter insists that I refer to Teller as my BFF. But the most important thing is that we have a show to do, and even if we don't get along briefly, we just do the show, and that's, I think, really important. I think that a lot of people in show business fall in love, have really deep friendships, and forget that they're actually producing art. And we've always thought the show was more important than either of us. And that stops all the fights instantly.
Wow.
We got a show to do.
How many great rock bands would have
Wow.
stayed together
Totally.
if they had taken that advice? Didn't the Eagles break up? ABBA, everybody
Yeah.
breaks up. That'd be great advice.
Consummate professional right there. That's amazing. Now, you made headlines this year for your vaccine advocacy. Thank you for that. How would you go about convincing people that vaccines aren't just some big trick?
I don't know. I don't think that we're qualified. The major problem I think that's going on is people who are unqualified talking about this. And I don't want to add to that. I mean, I think you want to listen to your medical professionals. I don't think you need anything more than to look at the percentage of doctors that are vaccinated. I don't think you need to listen to anybody from the government. Just look at that number, how many doctors have made that decision, and maybe you want to do the same thing.
Smart.
Absolutely. I have a quick question. Tell her, do you even have to get mic'd up? Is that even part of the routine?
Are you mic'd? He's not.
Oh, it's amazing.
That is
46 years, never been mic'd up.
Wait, really quickly, when Teller goes out, Teller, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Do you break character? Like when people try and talk to you or get your autograph, do you talk to them?
Oh, he does.
It's worse than that. As soon as there's not a camera on or we're not on stage, Teller yaps incessantly. Incessantly. He is a chatterbox, just not professionally.
I love it. I love it. Let's talk about this new season of Fool Us. Can you guys show us what was the best trick you saw? Could you tell us that?
That's a good question.
Well, we have a zillion tricks. As a matter of fact, the first season kicks off with our friend Hondro, who's a magician. There's Pip. There's Pip the Magic Dragon. He's also been on a lot. Yeah, we've been on so long that some of the people, we were so touched by this, some of the people who came on this season actually started magic because of watching Fool Us.
Wow.
And that's pretty great. And then came on and fooled us. So
Did they
it was
really?
pretty wonderful.
That's great.
That'd be a task.
That's a big deal. That's a big deal. Now, I don't know. I'm sure you guys have seen how we do things here. We're not going to let you leave without putting you to work a little bit. So we need a magic trick. So do you have a trick that you can show?
We'll just do a quick thing for you. I have a deck of cards. We're not there in the studio with you, so I can't just have you take the cards and shuffle them up yourself and pick a card.
You're
But
here in spirit.
I'll do some of that work for you. Why don't you just tell me to stop?
Stop.
Right there, right there?
Yes,
okay,
sir.
we'll take a look at that card, and then Teller will make that card appear even though he's really far away. It's going to appear in a magical tattoo, and there it is right there. Teller did not look. And is that your card, the Five of Hearts?
That's unbelievable.
Wait.
No, it was the
10 of Hearts.
It was the Ten of Hearts.
See?
Teller. Oh, here we go. Yeah. It was the
showed
it was the Ten of Hearts. There you go.
Guys,
But look, he doubled it.
I know, but at first she's like,
That was amazing. It started a fight in the studio. That was so great.
At first he showed a Five of Hearts.
That was part of the trick.
I know, but Tori's like, it was a Five of Hearts.
This is good.
Yeah.
This is good.
Yeah, they're really good at what they do, Tori.
That was
Should ask around.
good.
That's because she's the nicest one of all of you. That's why she said yes on the Five of Hearts.
I was ready
She's
to be
the
like,
kindest.
nuh-uh.
Sam was all over that.
I cannot wait till you guys are in studio.
Yeah, I kind of ruined the trick, but we cannot wait for the new season of Fool Us. It's airing now. You can watch it every Friday on the CW. I know I will. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
For many of us, fall means football, sweater weather, and the seasonal flu. But now we've also got COVID to worry about. Our Verify viewers are asking, is it true that you don't need to space out your flu and COVID booster shots? Let's verify.
Our sources are University of Louisville Hospital's Hugh Schaff and Kristen Nordland, a spokesperson with the CDC. They say there's no need to space out your flu and COVID shots, whether it's your initial dose or a booster shot.
And you can get both vaccines at the same time because it's different vaccines for different diseases. So when you inject these vaccines into you receive the injection, your body's creating antibodies to two different diseases.
And he says, bring on those antibodies. The CDC agrees. In an email to Verify,
spokesperson Kristen Nordland says getting both your flu and COVID vaccines at the same time isn't just convenient, it's recommended. She writes, co-administration of all recommended vaccines is important because it increases the probability that people will be fully vaccinated. In other words,
Really, the important part is just getting the vaccine.
So we can verify this is true. You don't have to space out your flu and COVID vaccines.
And yes, you may feel less than 100% for a few days after those shots, but health experts say you'll be far better off than if you came down with the flu or COVID. Their takeaway: get vaccinated. With your Verify, I'm Paula Vasan.
Don't miss a day of DBL. I am here to receive that gift. Bold debates. Come on now. Enough.
Get real.
It blows my mind.
Hot celebs.
Happy 5th anniversary.
Love a suit, by the way.
Thank you.
Seriously, Al, give her a break. That just sounded weird, actually.
And all the laughs. Yes, Erica feeling it. Okay, I'm done with you. I'm done. DBL is always all new every day.
Welcome back to DBL. Shopping for your kid's favorite toy this holiday season might be difficult. We're chatting about it on today's Bang for Your Buck presented by The Hartford. So according to the Toy Association, which I'd like to be associated with, this year's sales are already up 18%. So here's some tips. First, stock up right now. It might seem silly to start buying now, but that's exactly what you should do. Next, expand your search. If you can, select the curbside pickup option. Online orders can get canceled if the store runs out. And then finally, widen your list. Encourage your kids to ask for a few different gifts. And if you want to treat yourself, we've made it easy. For quality and affordable insurance, the Buck's got your back. Call the Hartford at 1-800-683-7108 or visit thehartford.com to learn more. We'll see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place.
Let's connect the dots. This is all part of the Postal Service's new standards. USPS says 61% of mail will not be impacted by these changes. So what does that mean? Single-piece mail, so things like letters and bills that are traveling within the same region will still arrive within those 2 days. The Postal Service estimates that if you're trying to mail something less than 900 miles away, it will still get there in about 3 days. Items traveling further distances will take longer, up to 5 days. This is because the Postal Service is now relying more on ground transportation and less on planes. Ultimately, yes, it means it's cheaper for them. It also means you need to plan ahead. Mail things early, especially as we head into the holiday season. And that is connecting the dots.
Don't miss a day of DBL. Bold debates. Enough.
Get real.
Hot celebs.
Happy 5th anniversary.
That just sounded weird, actually.
And all the laughs. Okay, I'm done with this. DBL is always all new every day.
Here's what we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
The great Facebook and Instagram outage of 2021. Did this prove how much we rely on these apps every single day? Sarah Silverman calls out people who aren't Jewish playing Jewish roles.
Jews don't count.
Does she have a point? And was Britney Spears' night on Dancing with the Stars a big fail?
Hit me, baby, one more time.
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane? This is a sham.
No. Nope. Just
It's
stop.
finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. It's Tuesday, October 5th. I'm Sam here with Al, Jeff, and Tori. And when I came in, you all had something to say about my outfit.
Yeah, I like it.
Happy Merry Christmas.
Yes. Definitely.
What is this, velvet? It's a great line.
And it's not just a velvet top. Like, there's pants in that.
All right.
You're draped in velvet.
You really are.
Like a Santa.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
great.
you have a velvet suit you might wear.
I do. I'll see if we can get it for the last picture of the show.
Oh, God.
Kiera, you seen it?
Okay. All right. So let's get right to it. I'm curious
That might
if
be
our
illegal.
viewers and all of you, how did you guys survive the big blackout? We're talking about the Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp outage. In case you didn't notice, the major social media sites disappeared from the internet for hours yesterday. Well, they are back up and working now after Facebook says it fixed a server issue. So during the outage, CEO Mark Zuckerberg lost an estimated $6 billion in a matter of hours. Can you believe that? Meanwhile, the company lost out on nearly $100 million in revenue. That's according to Fortune. Twitter capitalized on the outage, tweeting, "Hello, literally everyone." So apparently they needed to just like restart the server, but there's a conspiracy theory behind it.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not buying it, okay? First of all, I'm not buying the $6 billion in 6 hours. That means he makes $1 billion an hour? I don't think so. Here's what I think. First of all, I never even post, and I tried to post something yesterday.
Of course.
Of course. I didn't, I'm like, I forgot how to post. And Jordan's like, it's not working. And I'm like, yeah, we talked about it on the show. So that was a fail. But anyways, I don't think this is real for the fact that I think Facebook is taking a lot of heat, Instagram, all social media in general, and they had that woman testifying, right? So I think they're like, you know what? How are you going to live without me for a couple hours? I'm going to show you what life is like without it. And they did it on purpose. That's just my theory. I don't think they lost all that money. I think they wanted to show everybody we don't like the pushback that we're getting.
I hate to say this, but I agree with Jeffrey. And when I say this, first of all, $6 billion was in stock, so it wasn't exactly like he liquid losing it. But I completely agree that they did it to show you want to be without us? Watch. And the reason is Frances Haugen is testifying. She did CBS 60 Minutes. She's a whistleblower. You think it's that much of a coincidence that Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp go down when she comes out and says they knew it was toxic? They're calling it a big tobacco moment for big tech. So then they go down? Smart. And it's just showing you how much you need it. I will say I did take a walk without my phone. I could smell and see the birds.
How did you feel about like not, or do you not even post? Because you don't, do you?
No, I'm getting back on it. But I kind of removed myself in a weird way. You think about it, I did stand-up comedy before like people were on Instagram. So I used to go into scary bars and I would do comedy for people that did not want to hear it. So I am used to people saying things, saying they are not enjoying this in different kinds of language. And Facebook was too toxic for me. So I think that should say something. But the other question is, are we allowed to take down a company when their when their motive is negative? It seems to be working. It seems to have tapped into something that's inside of all of us, Sam. And we need to be honest about the equation inside of all this is us.
No.
People like conflict. Otherwise, it will go away.
I know, but would they have a responsibility, in my opinion? First of all, I loved that it was down yesterday. And I know that Facebook and Instagram, there's much more bigger, social justice movements that they really do help. So I understand that there's that issue, and it really did affect a lot of those really important issues. But just on a personal level, like I struggle with addiction, and for me, I just want it to go away. Like I really do, even though there's a lot of benefits to it. I want it gone. So I personally loved the break from it, but I do think that this is the wild, wild west still. I do think that social media apps need to find some sort of balance where they're not driven completely by money and have some sort of ethics involved. They can't make it so addictive and so conflict driven that it destroys the planet. So I hope.
I do agree with that.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So how would you feel if you saw a video of your husband with another woman dancing up on him? I know what I would do. This story has been building for the last few days. So Jacksonville Jaguars coach Urban Meyer, you guys.
Ew.
Yep, I know.
Ew.
Was filmed at a bar over the weekend, and the video went viral. In it, a young woman is dancing up on him. Meyer is married and a grandfather with the grandkids. His wife was at home with the grandkids at the time. He has since apologized. Take a look.
We don't have the audio.
No, they're working on it. And then afterwards, yeah, maybe when you're working on that, can we see her dancing up on him again? Because I feel like, where was his hand?
I think his hand was kind of blocking, so she wouldn't have full access.
Are you kidding me right now?
Is he sitting too?
He's sitting on a stool, it appears. And whether people, like my question, and I want to talk to the two married women here. How do you guys feel if that was your husband? I know it's not great, but it's not making out. Where does this fall? I'm just asking.
Where was his hand?
It looked like his hand was there to prevent her from getting full access. I'm not defending.
Before you chime in, Tori, we do have his apology. Let's take a listen.
I just apologize to the team and staff and for being a distraction, just stupid. And so I explained everything that happened and owned it, and just stupid. Should not have myself in that kind of position.
Ugh, Tori.
Snip, snip, snip. If I saw that, I mean, honestly.
What do you mean snip, snip?
That's the end of your relationship?
I'm kidding around. My mother always said if my father cheated, snip, snips. It was a joke. But what I'm saying to you is, no matter if it's kissing or not, no matter if it's kissing, that is more intimate than even some kisses. So I would be furious. And I also think at some point someone was like, this guy keeps hitting on me. Who is it? And it was Urban Meyer in her photograph. So I don't know what he was doing. Maybe he was overserved, but it was too much.
That's more intimate than kisses?
That grinding? Some kisses.
Is there, when I saw, listen, it's not right. I'm not sticking up for him. But when I saw he was sitting down, I thought he was on a dance floor. Did that make a difference to anybody?
Like, he doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
There's a proximity issue. Like, it should never get that. She should never be that close.
You say, excuse me, can you please
get away from my husband?
Please move? Just like if a guy started grinding up on me just because he's on the dance floor, I'm not going to allow it. I'm going to say,
how could they not with that velvet dress?
Yeah, exactly. What if he just wants to feel good about life for a second?
Oh, good. I would say, excuse me, I know this is a dance floor, but do you mind? I'm married. And I would expect my husband to do the same. I would expect Urban to do the same.
This is the thing that people, I feel like, aren't saying. He shouldn't have been in there to begin with.
Right.
And
he didn't go to a bar.
No, he is too old.
His whole
That's
team,
why, Sam.
his whole team left, and he stayed there. They're on a road game, and the whole team left.
Is this the sound of a bad
and went out to a bar. He should have not been there. He knows better. He shouldn't have been in that position.
He should not have been in there because he's too old to be in there. That is a young people's bar, and he's in there trying to be young, and he got caught.
You sound like Father
That's ridiculous.
I'm with you.
I am serious. I am too old.
Enough confidence and enough wherewithal to wherever he's at to not act that way. I don't care if he's in a sleazy bar. I don't care
if he's drunk.
Yes,
he should know to be a better husband.
But when you're in a sleazy bar and you're drunk, you're going to make poor decisions.
You are?
Which he did. If you're in a sleazy bar and you're drunk, you're not more prone to make bad decisions?
Maybe you're more prone, but if I don't care how drunk I was, you're not going to see me gyrating on some dude.
I believe that, but not everybody is you. Has your.
I was waiting for you to break after you said gyrate.
Exactly.
I was just staring at you.
Did you buy his apology real quick? Did you buy it?
Yeah, he's embarrassed.
Yeah,
what he did was embarrassing. His wife's at home with the grandchildren.
But he only apologized because he got caught.
Of course, but
that's how apologies work.
You don't think he's embarrassed? That's embarrassing.
Of course he's
embarrassed. The whole team is embarrassed of him. It's an embarrassing situation for him.
Say embarrassed one more time.
Gyrating.
Okay.
I can't. Okay, to boldly go where no 90-year-old man has ever gone before. Just like Captain Kirk, music. William Shatner is going to space next week on the Blue Origin's rocket owned by Jeff Bezos. He'll be the oldest person ever to fly to space. Here's what he said about it on the Today Show.
I'm going to see the vastness of space and the extraordinary miracle of our Earth and how fragile it is compared to the forces at work in the universe. That's really what I'm looking for.
Let me say something really quick as a Trekkie, and I'm the next generation, #TNG, thank you, you're out there. The idea of Star Trek was that it was exploration, not war, not colonialism. We were gonna go out there and we didn't care about race. The first interracial kiss was with Shatner. We didn't care about aliens or species. We were all out there to educate ourselves and learn. Star Trek, for a lot of people, is how people learned about space. And I really think Shatner going out there is a really nice thing, and I'm really happy about it.
It's gonna be the most boring episode of Star Trek ever. It's going to be an older gentleman looking at blackness and then coming back. There's nothing up there. It's a waste of time.
Are you kidding
There's
me?
nothing that we can get close to that's
Al,
cool.
you gotta believe in space exploration.
Go home and turn the lights off in your basement and you'll see the exact same thing.
How dare you?
Is he going to float, though? Is he going to, like,
Of course
not have
they will.
gravity?
Yeah, he should, but it's only for like 4 minutes.
You know he's going to think he's an expert because of his Star Trek days. But first of all, Al, if somebody walked in right now, Jeff Bezos walked in right now and said, Albert, I'm going to take you up on the rocket, you'd be like, boring, no.
I would take a picture of what you're wearing and be like, I met an alien up there. And then I'd post it and I'd say, thanks, Jeff.
All right, coming up on DBL. Oprah Winfrey reveals she only has 3 close friends. So we have to ask, how many close friends do you keep in your inner circle? And is Meghan Trainor just a bit too close with her husband? She reveals a custom home installation that, well, it's grossed us out. And undiagnosed breast cancer is on the rise because of the pandemic. Dr. Coley weighs in on what you should do if you've missed routine exams. She joins us next, live.
Closed captioning provided by
Urban Meyer.
Yeah, we forgot to leave her out. She definitely, in our opinion, knew who he was.
I think so. She said
she
she
bears
did.
responsibility too. You don't go up to a married man. I never would.
She said she didn't know who she was. She tweeted out a picture. Or
Yeah, she
tweeted
on her
something else.
Instagram, she goes, this guy keeps flirting with me. Apparently, he had some kind of ownership with that bar, I think. I think he owned that place. And I think this is my theory. I think he went over there originally to have some drinks, take some pictures with people, and coach, this guy's my daughter's friend, whatever.
Right. Okay.
And I think he kept having whiskeys. And yeah, have you ever been at like a bar kind of restaurant where it turns into a nightclub?
And then you're like it's time to leave.
Like, yeah, the lights come down.
He owned the restaurant
Right, that's what I
next
just
door.
said.
Okay, he owned the restaurant next door, and then they, in a group, went next door to get a drink after they had dinner or something.
And to be fair, he was a coach at Ohio State, so he had a lot of friends in Ohio. The team went back. He stayed to visit his friends. Not making excuses, just setting up the situation.
Right, yeah, so I think that's what happened. And Chris, I was telling Jeff, I think what happened was sometimes you're at a bar or restaurant and like you're there, it's like 6:30, 6:50, and then at 8 o'clock, music starts coming up and the lights come down, you're like, people start dancing, you're like, oh, this is turning into a...
And that's
I
when
think
you
he
leave.
stayed, I think
I know,
by that
but
time he was probably 4 deep and was like, hey.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happened. I'm not making an excuse.
No,
just
I
think
totally
that's-
agree.
You know,
But as you
but
get
you shouldn't
older,
be there.
you know that transition, right? You're like, what's going on?
Bro,
I got to get out of here.
You got to get out of
Yeah.
there. Jeff, I will say anybody that is watching, I've been out with you, I would say over 200 times. You always take your behind home. Every single time. You've never.
Yeah, I
stayed
pull
out
the
late.
plug. I have
you're
fun
really
and
good
I'm like,
about
I'm
that.
out. Yeah.
Welcome back to DBL. October kicks off Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and this year, as many as 12,000 women could go undiagnosed with the disease because of the pandemic. So, Dr. Coley, thank you so much for joining us. So, what advice would you give to women who have skipped their mammograms?
Sam, it's time for damage control. This virus has been winning, and a lot of us are worried that the next curve is going to be the cancer curve, the heart disease curve, all the screenings that we missed during the pandemic. So there's 2 things we need to do as women and men. to screen ourselves for breast cancer. The first is mammograms. So if you're over the age of 40, you missed your mammogram once a year, it's time to go get it. And there's 500,000 women out there that are overdue for their mammogram that need to go get it. But the second is breast self-exams. So it's really important for us to check our breasts at least once a month. And we as women know how our breasts are supposed to feel. So we actually pick up a lot of cancers. Did you know that 50% of cancers are picked up by self-exam?
No.
And some are actually picked up by your partner, who can also pick up some cancers as well. So do you know how to do a breast self-exam?
I do, yeah. You know, I neglected all things breast cancer until my sister was diagnosed with breast cancer last year. And my sister is almost through the woods. She has one more surgery in a few weeks. Monica Gauthier, you are a warrior. But she was always on top of that, always on top of breast exams, always on top of getting her mammogram. I never did. I'm 41 years old and I had my first, I still don't do breast exams, I'll be honest with you, but I had my first mammogram. You and I talked about it. You actually drove me to go do it, and so did my sister. And that's life-saving. They said if my sister did not do her regular mammograms like she does, who knows if she would be alive today.
Not only that, Monica, you getting your mammogram could have saved Sam's life, could have saved your other sister Erica's life, because early breast cancer in a family member sets off an alarm bell that you need to start looking. And Monica, by doing what she was supposed to do, has actually probably diagnosed her cancer super early, when it's tiny, when it's curable, before it's spread, before it becomes that lump that you can feel, because actually we can't feel stuff until it's at least a centimeter, which is the size of a marble. So if you get those microscopic cells in there, that mammogram is going to pick it up and save your life. So kudos to Monica for setting an example for all of us.
Absolutely. All right, Doc, let's talk holidays because they're around the corner. First up, Halloween. People are going to be getting together whether they're
Do
vaccinated.
you have a costume
or
yet?
not.
Or?
I got something
Got
on
a
deck. I got
surprise.
something on deck. I don't want to reveal too
He's
much.
cooking something.
Good one. What do we do to keep ourselves safe from bad jokes and from, the virus?
I don't know about bad jokes. I think you can't protect yourself from those, especially on this desk. But
Zinger.
for the virus, so if you're not vaccinated, Jeff, I want to make a plea to all those Americans out there that are not vaccinated. Please go out and get that vaccine, because it's going to help us to celebrate our holidays the way that we want to. For you, I have a Zorro costume in mind, which has a mask in place, so that'll protect you as well.
Is that how you think about me? Uh-oh.
I love it. All right, well, Doc, I got to get this in.
Now that it's really weird, Al.
And we do have to switch gears, and this kind of speaks to a lot of people in my family, because high blood pressure runs in my family. A lot of people with high blood pressure might have something in their cabinet just over the counter that could be really bad for them. Like, talk to us about what that might be.
Yeah, this is something that sneaks through actually for a lot of people, because people think if it's available over the counter, you don't have to worry about it. But if you have high blood pressure, there are a lot of medications out there like ibuprofen, decongestants like Sudafed, allergy medicines that have the D on it, like Zyrtec D or Claritin D, even some heartburn medications that have sodium in them. That can raise your blood pressure. So I sometimes have patients that come in and they've had a heart attack or a stroke because they've been taking ibuprofen for a few weeks because of knee pain or something like that. So it's really, really important to talk to your doctor, of course, about which medicines to avoid. But ibuprofen, decongestants, and anything with sodium, those are the ones to look at.
Life-saving information as always. Thank you so much, Dr. Coley. If you guys have a medical question you want answered by Dr. Coley, write us on social media. You can also email us at info@dailyblastlive.com. We will be right back.
Hey everyone, today's an exciting day. I'm joined by
home treatment for fighting COVID-19 is being shared online. It involves inhaling hydrogen peroxide through a nebulizer, the same device used in treating asthma. So let's verify. Is inhaling nebulized hydrogen peroxide a treatment for COVID-19? We went to these sources for an answer. Inhaling hydrogen peroxide can be hazardous to your health, and you shouldn't do it. The Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America made a stern warning in a September blog post stating, "It is dangerous. hydrogen peroxide in liquid form is used as a mild antiseptic and an ingredient in household cleaners. While you might be exposed to it when you're cleaning your home or using toothpaste with added hydrogen peroxide, the quantities are diluted enough that it's safe to use. The Agency for Toxic Substances and Disease Registry said inhaling a concentration of 10% or more of hydrogen peroxide can cause severe irritation to the lungs or even burned tissue. In some extreme cases, inhaling it can cause respiratory paralysis. A 2021 trial conducted in Brazil gave mouthwash with 1% hydrogen peroxide and nasal spray with 0.5% hydrogen peroxide to patients with COVID-19. The trial found, quote, insufficient evidence to demonstrate that H2O2 is effective as an auxiliary treatment for hospitalized COVID-19 patients. So we can verify, no, you should not inhale nebulized hydrogen peroxide for any reason, and it's not a COVID-19 treatment. With your Fast Fact, I'm Ariane Till.
Welcome back to DBL. Do you talk to strangers? If not, maybe you should start, because a new study shows deep and meaningful conversations with people you don't know is actually good for your well-being. They said these meaningful conversations and connections tend to make people happier, even if they may seem awkward at first. I know that you talk to strangers, because I've been in Ubers with you, and oh my gosh.
I love when they're from out of the country, too. That's even better, because I can be like, oh, I visited your country, and, you know, I try to make them feel welcome. I love talking to strangers. You learn so much from strangers, and some strangers tend to be older too. I actually wrote down a show that I had an idea for. I'll just say because I'm never going to do it. But I wanted to just go up like at lunch. You know when you see people like sitting by themselves? I always have this notion to talk to them, but I don't. And I'm like, I just want to grab a tray, sit down with them and film it and just learn from them, talk to them.
What if they don't want to talk to you?
Well, then I pick the next guy. You know what I mean?
I don't want to be
and I say something snarky to them. But then, you know what I mean? I just always wanted to talk because I feel so bad for people sitting by themselves alone when they probably have so much to offer, but no one to talk to because they might be scared.
I admire that a lot about you.
I do too. And
You're the
talking about
opposite.
Yeah, except that in Denmark and Sweden, I've been researching this, in libraries, you ready for this?
Look at Al
You
Spade.
can rent someone to talk to for half an hour and learn about their culture.
Did you Google that?
Well, no, it's become a new thing in Denmark.
That takes the spontaneity, though.
But the idea of a total stranger, I'm going to take 30 minutes of your time, and we're going to have a one-on-one conversation about what you're like, what your culture is like, and it's really emphasizing the idea of cross-cultural conversation. How is this confusing?
I think that's weird.
You're setting it up. You're not just bumping into someone and be like, hey, what's up, stranger?
Some people have a hard time doing that.
No, that's taking the spontaneity out of it. And I know, I'm like you, I get awkward. But Dr. Coley, she's still in the studio, right? I want to know, Dr. Coley, from your medical perspective, do you think that this actually has merit?
You know, guys, I'm just glad that there's some science that makes us friendlier, makes us happier, and makes us more connected. I remember a few days ago I was on a plane, and the lady next to me kept talking and talking and talking, and I just wanted her to shut up.
Yes.
But now,
That's so honest.
I will admit my mistake that there is science out there that talking to strangers and opening up and being more connected makes us happier.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Coley.
I appreciate the honesty.
What about you and your neighbors?
No, I don't want to talk to anyone, ever. No, I have my thoughts and I'm trying to gather them for the show, for stand-up, how I want to connect with my daughter, what I want to do for dinner with my girl. I don't want to have a little chit-chat.
I'm the same.
And this nonsense platitudes. Hey, man, just every day is a different day. Stop. I don't want to hear it.
Every time I peek
Get outta
outside,
here.
my husband's talking to another neighbor.
Your husband is the biggest schmoozer I know.
My husband
biggest schmoozer I
thinks
know.
he's an introvert.
No.
You're not an introvert.
No, Mark, you're not.
You are the mayor of
To
our
the
neighborhood.
waiter? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're a
He's a
chatty Cathy.
fascinating guy.
Yeah, you're not an introvert.
I like Tori. I pay for strangers to come over and talk to me. We meet randomly. I send them a check.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Tori's renting people again.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Coley, for your expertise. Coming up on DBL, Oprah talks about keeping her inner circle small with only 3 close friends. Can you guess who they are?
No new friends.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
For many of us, fall means football, sweater weather, and the seasonal flu. But now we've also got COVID to worry about. Our verified viewers are asking, is it true that you don't need to space out your flu and COVID booster shots? Let's verify.
Our sources are University of Louisville Hospital's Hugh Schaff and Kristen Nordland, a spokesperson with the CDC. They say there's no need to space out your flu and COVID shots, whether it's your initial dose or a booster shot.
And you can get both vaccines at the same time because it's different vaccines for different diseases. So when you inject these vaccines into you receive the injection, your body's creating antibodies to two different diseases.
And he says, bring on those antibodies. The CDC agrees. In an email to verify,
spokesperson Kristen Nordland says getting both your flu and COVID vaccines at the same time isn't just convenient, it's recommended. She writes, co-administration of all recommended vaccines is important because it increases the probability that people will be fully vaccinated. In other words,
really the important part is just getting the vaccine.
So we can verify this is true. You don't have to space out your flu and COVID vaccines.
And yes, you may feel less than 100% for a few days after those shots, but health experts say you'll be far better off than if you came down with the flu or COVID. Their takeaway, get vaccinated. With your Verify, I'm Paula Vasan.
Don't miss a day of DBL. I am here to receive said gift. Bold debates. Come on now. Enough.
Get real.
It blows my mind.
Hot celebs.
Happy 5th anniversary.
Love a suit, by the way.
Thank you.
Seriously, Al, give her a break. That just sounded weird, actually.
And all the laughs. Yes, Erica, feeling it. Okay, I'm done with you. I'm done. DBL is always all new every day. If you're leaving us, you can watch the second half of the show online. Watch on YouTube, dailyblastlive.com, or our DBL mobile app. But if you're sticking around, here is what's coming up. Sarah Silverman calls out Hollywood for quote-unquote Jew-face. Should non-Jewish actors be playing Jewish parts? And it was Britney Spears' night on Dancing with the Stars, but was the evening a giant flop with last-minute COVID changes?
Let's connect the dots. This is all part of the Postal Service's new standards. USPS says 61% of mail will not be impacted by these changes. So what does that mean? Single-piece mail, so things like letters and bills that are traveling within the same region will still arrive within those 2 days. The Postal Service estimates that if you're trying to mail something less than 900 miles away, it will still get there in about 3 days. Items traveling further distances will take longer, up to 5 days. This is because the Postal Service is now relying more on ground transportation and less on planes. Ultimately, yes, it means it's cheaper for them. It also means you need to plan ahead. Mail things early, especially as we head into the holiday season. And that is Connecting the Dots.
Don't miss a day of DBL. Bold debates. Enough.
Get real.
Hot celebs.
Happy 5th anniversary.
That just sounded weird, actually.
And all the laughs. Okay, I'm done with this. DBL is always all new every day.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane?
This is a sham.
No. No.
Y'all,
just stop.
Finally here. Drum roll.
Wow, Tori just did the drum roll.
Shut up, Sam.
Okay. Welcome to DBL.
It's always good to
Sam
kick
here
the segment off by telling your co-host to shut up.
I'm Sam here with Jeff
children
Allen
here.
Tori. Let's get started. So this week, Dancing with the Stars celebrated Britney Spears with a Britney night. So Tyra Banks came out wearing a schoolgirl outfit similar to the one Britney wore in her video Baby One More Time. So here's Tyra next to Britney. What do you guys think? Interesting. Tyra also changed into another outfit that was inspired by Britney's I'm a Slave for You performance at the 2001 VMAs. And Derek Huff missed the show because of a possible exposure to COVID. Cody Rigsby and his partner Cheryl Burke both danced virtually and separately because they did test positive for COVID. Watch.
What?
Okay,
That's
go.
the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And I think that Dancing with the Stars is great.
Dancing with the Stars.
You did say that very strangely. You should have been getting out of the stagecoach saying that.
Okay, let me just say this. If you got COVID and you got to be out for a week, go out for the week. Don't come on and do buffering with two 1994 computers of like, damn me go, give me goo. No one can see you.
Well, what were they supposed to do? Get zeros for the week?
Skip the week or have a guest
but
star
it's
do a
scored week
professional
to
dance.
week.
Then do a professional dance with two professional dancers. Have Julianne Hough or someone come on and do it. That is embarrassing and it lowers your show. It just looks stupid and it looks unglossy. It looks unpolished.
But to be fair to everyone else on the show, you can't just skip a week, right? You'd have to drop out. And for them, this is like their one shot. Like, hey, let's go for it. They did get the lowest score, to your point, and I totally hear what you're saying.
Like, did you feel like...
But it's like, what, in 2 weeks, they could come back and possibly win the show. So if you got picked to be on Dancing with the Stars, wouldn't you want them to work around you having COVID?
Sure, give me the worst score that week, but take me out.
But then you're going to go home.
No. Oh, is that how it works? Or are they gone? I don't actually watch Dancing with the Stars.
We'll catch up on the rules maybe in a pre-production meeting. No, I would just say that the fact that even though they got the lowest score, which dance are we talking about, Sam? Theirs.
Dance.
They're keeping their name out there for another week rather than dropping out and leaving the public spotlight.
I thought it looked silly, but I give them kudos for doing the best that they could. When Ground Zero, and I say Ground Zero respectfully, but applying it to COVID happened in March 11th, and you were the only person in studio, and then a bunch of people were.
What about me? You just reached
I was about to.
No. How about you
She
guys?
was alone for a couple days. Then
No,
it was
she
you.
wasn't.
Yes, I was.
Oh. I thought
Yes,
you
I was.
were.
Oh, yes, I was.
Okay, I just got a yes, she was.
Yes, I was.
Yeah, then it was
baby.
you. But you're missing my point.
The show didn't come back till I got
Okay, then my point was, then all of a sudden when you were doing your Zoom, you were like in a gaming chair, and God knows where. You were like in a random kitchen, well, your kitchen, but there was like nothing in your kitchen with a random candle because there was man smell, according to Jordan.
But Sam, that was
memories of us.
Yes, but that was when COVID first hit. We've had a year to make things right with COVID.
This is their first experience. I'm just saying.
I'm sorry. I thought that network would have some money to spend so it would look
I'm sorry.
nice.
I was on your side going against Tori.
No, you skipped me and only talked about Tori saving the show at Ground Zero.
Al came in and you saved the show too, Al.
Thank you.
Very appreciative of
Now I feel
Albert
bad.
Jackson.
And I'm just smelly Jeff.
I'm just saying. Okay. Okay. Let's get to this next story. Comedian Sarah Silverman isn't laughing about non-Jewish people playing Jewish characters on screen. Sarah is taking issue with the news that Catherine Hahn, a Catholic, was cast to play Joan Rivers in an upcoming limited series. But on her podcast, Sarah said Hollywood has a long history of using Gentiles or non-Jewish actors to portray Jewish characters. Watch.
Jew face, doesn't feel good to say, is defined as when a non-Jew portrays a Jew with the Jewishness front and center, often with makeup or changing of features, big fake nose, all the New Yorkie or Yiddishy inflection. And in a time when the importance of representation is seen as so essential and so front and center, why does ours constantly get breached, even today, in the thick of it?
Tori, what do you think about this?
So I think two thoughts can be true. I don't think if you're Italian or Japanese or a certain character, you have to play that character. I don't go with that. I think when you're acting, you're acting. However, in Joan Rivers' case, I get it. As a Jew myself, not only was she an iconic Jewish female that broke the ceiling, the rhythm, the flavor of being a Jew sometimes feels like it comes culturally from inside. And having a non-Jew do Joan Rivers feels a little funny. And I say that with respect to Miss Hahn, Catherine Hahn, she's very funny. But to not pick a Sarah Silverman or another Jewish star leaves one to scratch their head. And I would say Jews often were played in the 30s and 40s with the big noses, and they were always getting money, and they were bankers. That's an old trope. We're done with it. It might have been nice to have an iconic comedian, Jewish, play Joan Rivers, an iconic Jewish comedian.
Yeah, I like that you said it feels funny. And what I meant by that, Jeff, is when we speak about things now, Sam, everything's got to be, I was outraged, I was offended, you made me feel like, it just, sometimes you're like, I just wish you kind of maybe would have picked a Jewish actress to play this part. Obviously, anything we're talking about prosthetic noses, that needs to be gone forever and wiped from the earth. But there are situations I brought up, like when I went to go see Hamilton and George Washington was played by a 6'5" black man. If we push back against anybody different playing a different role, then eventually it's going to circle back to you and it's going to say, well, what's up with Hamilton? And then what could I say?
Yeah, we did this story with what's his name playing Mario from the Mario Brothers?
Chris Pratt.
Yeah. I totally get what you're saying, Tori, and you're right. Sarah Silverman, I think, would be fantastic.
That's
Joan Rivers. But I think we're going, not in this case, but in general, too far. For Chris Pratt not to play Mario because he's not Italian, what's next? Sam, you have blue eyes. You can't play this brown-eyed woman. They're actors. They're portraying someone else.
Right.
So to get the job, you have to be that in your real life. Excuse me, are you Catholic? You can't play this part.
Right.
That doesn't make any sense. We're taking it a little too far. Not in this case.
Right.
I see what you're saying. But in general, when does it stop?
Isn't it funny how there always has to be this blanket rule when there shouldn't have to be? I agree with you. There's no discernment anymore. Why can't we take things case by case basis? Why do we have to say this is inappropriate? We can't have certain actors play certain parts because of their culture. How about we look at it case by case? You know, obviously when it comes to...
Because nuance is difficult, Sam.
Nobody has nuance.
It's mental push-ups and chin-ups, and people don't want to do it.
Yeah.
They just want to be, you're right, you're wrong. Not like, let's look at this. How does this make you feel? Well, here's how I feel. That takes a lot more work, and a lot of times that does not happen over Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, unfortunately.
Yep. Okay, Oprah. Well, she says she only has a handful of close friends in her life. She revealed who they were on her Making Space with Hoda Kotb podcast. Listen.
So I don't have a lot of friends. Everybody knows Gail, there's Maria, there's Bob. And that's about it. I never really expanded that circle until recently. I've become friends with a couple of people in my later adult life.
I wonder who. Oprah said she, Gayle King, and Maria Shriver have been friends for 42 years. And Bob is fitness expert Bob Green. Al, you always have a saying since I've known you, no new friends. Although we are all your close friends.
No new friends,
Yes.
homie.
Yes, yeah. But there's been a lot of vetting. How many hours have we spent together on live TV, but more off, voluntarily? And I mean, we've had good times and bad times and cry with each other and laugh with each other. So there's been a different vetting process. But I do think people throw the word friends around a lot, Sam, and it's going to get you hurt. When you don't know who you can trust, I always say this. This is how you can tell who's your friend really quickly. Think about your name accidentally getting in the newspaper and it's attached to the worst thing in your head that you, child, death, murder, whatever. It's on the front page. Who do you call?
Right.
Who's going to pick up the phone? That's your friend. Anybody else is just somebody you drink with. Anybody else is somebody you sit next to on the bus every day. We've been next to each other 10 years. Doesn't matter. Who do you call that day? That's your friend. Everybody else is somebody you're friendly with.
Yeah, I agree. I have a tight group of friends, and it's your friends are who you share your insecurities with, right? Something that you tell somebody that they're not going to judge you for, but you talk to them and say, hey, I want to learn from this. I'm embarrassed about this. I need to get through this, and they help you through.
There's no judgment.
If there's people who say, oh, I'm here for you, and then talk behind your back or write something else or don't do that, those aren't your friends.
Right.
So you got to have a tight group. Even though I love talking to strangers, I love meeting new people. No new friends,
Boundaries.
homie. That's my saying.
There's a saying, I really like it. There's a saying that I really love that I want to teach
That's Al saying,
everyone.
but I stole it.
And it's Drake saying.
And it's Drake saying. The saying goes, learn who is a check and who is a bill. And that in terms of friends, meaning who do you constantly have to invest your time and energy with, and who is actually investing in you? I heard that and it sort of changed my mind like a month ago.
Yep.
And you start to see who's sucking your energy and who do you want to invest in you. And it's a different way of looking at it.
That is so true.
I think it's interesting.
Yeah, and just at 41 years old, same thing. I'm, isolating people that make me feel not empowered or drained, and the people that uplift me, and I feel like I could call, God forbid something horrible happened.
Right.
Those are the people I want in my inner circle.
Right. And there can be a lot of people in your outer circle. Some people are like,
That's
hey,
okay.
Friday night happy hour, I call
I'm
this
like
guy.
that.
Different.
But they're not who you call when something,
Exactly.
Bought.
This next story I feel like is Jeff's nightmare. Is this your nightmare?
This is Al's story. I got to give Al credit for
this. Was my nightmare.
I know. Okay,
yes.
so Meghan Trainor and her husband Daryl are really, really close. But are they too close? Meghan was on the Why Won't You Date Me podcast with Nicole Byer and confessed that she and her husband go to the bathroom together. Have a listen.
So I was like, can we please have two toilets next to each other? So we...
Bro, I'm telling you, it is insanity.
That's an exclusive.
You guys
Wait a minute. We got two toilets sitting next to each other.
So she built two commodes next to each other so they could go to the bathroom at the same time.
Commodes? What year is this?
I'm also going to my blacksmithing
General
class.
of the 1920s? Commode. I understand, and Tori, you openly admit like you're in a codependent relationship, but I think this is taking a step.
Disgusting.
That's disgusting.
But I mean, there are levels to this, homie. This is I don't do any of this. I don't even no bodily functions at all around me. I like to keep my partner at a different level. Like, you're not my homeboy. And so that's just me. I understand that Jeff's a little different.
What do you mean?
Not with this, but
I have an open door policy when it comes to going to the bathroom.
What?
Let me tell you why. So I don't mind. I don't want toilets next to each other. There's no privacy anymore. You're married, kids running in and out. There's no privacy. But me and my wife did meet on Big Brother, okay? You're in a house with 16 other people, one toilet. Ugh. Okay, so you get to know each other pretty quickly. So we came from that background.
That makes sense.
Now we have an open door policy. We're okay.
What?
We don't want to...
I like the mystery. Although
what
the
mystery?
kids...
You're going to lay in bed with a stomach ache? You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, this is a great show.
No, I just go excuse myself to the bathroom. I don't have the door open.
But he knows where you're going anyway.
So
we have an unwritten. We have an unwritten. There's an upstairs bathroom and a downstairs bathroom. And if you're using the downstairs bathroom, I know what time it is.
Okay.
Yeah. So if I hear somebody going down the stairs or vice versa, then that's what's happening.
That's exhausting.
Look. Hey, look.
Keeps things.
Yeah. I don't want.
Like we don't know what happened.
Yeah, but I don't want absolutely no. I want to guess.
Yeah.
I'd rather. I don't want to know because sometimes you can't unsmell things.
Right. And as a parent, though, you're right. Like, no matter if I have the door closed or not, Mark can stay his distance. Both kids and the new dog all come in. I'm like, I can't. I can't.
Lock the door.
What do you got going on?
I shouldn't know.
I think
bang.
You know what I'll say? I'm a little bit more on your side, and Brooks is more on your side. And he wishes I probably wasn't so relaxed.
Yeah, I don't want to.
I'm not saying I'm like, I would never do this. This is crazy. But I'm someone that's like, we know what's happening. We've been married almost 8 years. But he wishes.
Will you carry on the conversation through the door?
Yeah, I'd leave the door.
I feel like you would.
Yeah.
No.
I still like giggle. Like if there's a good one, I'm like, oh. I'm like, you don't. Stop it.
I don't.
No, I don't either. Mystery.
Yes, team mystery over here.
Yeah. Sometimes it's worse imagining it.
Imagining.
You know what I mean?
See,
Like,
you two are a lot more alike than you realize.
No, we're not.
I was going to say something, but I think we've got it.
Next in Heartthreads, this woman lands a job at the same hospital that treated her as a child. You don't want to miss this heartwarming story coming up next.
Closed captioning provided by
Really quick.
Chris
over here
Put his
just
Instagram
told us
up.
something.
Jesus.
Sorry. His social security is 211. Just told us he won't even brush his teeth in front of his wife.
That's insane.
That's insanity.
Brushing teeth is gross. It's just gross. Yeah, it's nasty.
No, I like to have mystery. Mark and I share everything but
Did you ever see the movie
stuff.
This Is 40?
Yeah.
It's like so true.
Yeah,
when he's like, it's payback time. What's this? And
Yeah.
it makes his wife like, but it's true. The bathroom, it's all off. I mean, it's
way open. And a lot of people writing in, Jeff, oh no, grew up one bathroom, but it's 2021. What mystery
First of all,
is left,
people
Sam?
watched me going to the bathroom
Yeah,
for
they
3
did.
months. Not exactly, but they watched me going in there. And that's an aspect of Big Brother people don't talk about.
a little you time where it's just quiet
Yeah,
in
I do,
there?
yeah.
Like, just like, I don't
Yeah.
want to, like, like if somebody's knocking on the door, I'm like, whatever it is, I can't help you now. I can't. So, like, why are we...
Sophie and Miles start banging on the door, I just want
Do you remember Al's season 1? He would just go to be by himself in the bathroom, and there's always one person, and I won't name names, would always go as soon as he walked in. And Al would be like, the anger, the humility, the violation, the violation.
almost like almost deliberate, because I don't want to say what. I don't want to give anything
Good
away.
cover. They're no longer here. They're no longer here. Yeah, but it was
deliberate.
There was like, because after a while I was just kind of like doing test runs,
Right.
And it like immediately.
Corey, that's you up there.
I don't think I don't
Or do
think
you
they
want to
liked
see
me
my
in that
outfit? Because it's
Hey, listen, it's what you guys work. You know what I mean? I think it's part of like falling in love with someone. But it's
Or
like
can I show
I'm
off
cool
my
with that, and I think you build
'Cause it
to a
is pretty
certain
cute.
level to be.
I could see it because you know.
I don't want to get up every time I need to do something. You know?
Oh man, I have to. I want to keep that like.
Welcome back to DBL. You won't believe how this nurse came full circle to thank her childhood hospital. Her incredible story is today's Heartthreads.
This woman is the newest nurse at the same hospital that treated her as a child. Ashton Fritz was diagnosed with leukemia right before her 6th birthday. She made it her life goal to be a nurse. And now she's working on the same floor she was treated as a kid.
Coming back, I kind of still see the energy that was there 16 years ago. And like the staff here is awesome, and I see them go above and beyond for patients just like they did for me.
Ashley was told she'd be behind in school from the treatment. She used those doubts as motivation and graduated from East Tennessee State University in May.
Really cool to kind of get to prove people wrong and to come back to the place where, I mean, these people saved me.
Ashley always dreamed of helping kids, but didn't expect it to happen so quickly.
When I got the interview, I was over the moon. And then when I found out I got the job, I remember I called my mom. She was so excited, and I was just like, there's no way this is real. And for a long time, especially growing up, I didn't know, like, why me? Why did I have to go through that, and why did other kids not? But looking back now, like, I wouldn't change a single thing, because it did. It made me who I am today, and it made me a fighter.
Ashley brings a unique perspective to each patient she serves.
It's just amazing to get to watch these kids, because even though I was one of them, they still amaze me, and it's just incredible what these kids can do.
I love Heart Threads. We'll be right back.
It's Hispanic rating by bringing attention to those who have left their mark on Hispanic culture. Today we honor J Balvin. The Colombian singer is one of the best-selling Latin music artists, selling more than 35 million records worldwide. He's been dubbed the Prince of Reggaeton. In recent years, he has been outspoken about his struggle with anxiety and depression, becoming an advocate for mental health, in spite of the stereotypes within Latin America.
Treatment for fighting COVID-19 is being shared online. It involves inhaling hydrogen peroxide through a nebulizer, the same device used in treating asthma. So let's verify. Is inhaling nebulized hydrogen peroxide a treatment for COVID-19? We went to these sources for an answer. Inhaling hydrogen peroxide can be hazardous to your health, and you shouldn't do it. The Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America made a stern warning in a September blog post stating, "It is dangerous." Hydrogen peroxide in liquid form is used as a mild antiseptic and an ingredient in household cleaners. While you might be exposed to it when you're cleaning your home or using toothpaste with added hydrogen peroxide, the quantities are diluted enough that it's safe to use. The Agency for Toxic Substances and Disease Registry said inhaling a concentration of 10% or more of hydrogen peroxide can cause severe irritation to the lungs or even burned tissue. In some extreme cases, inhaling it can cause respiratory paralysis. A 2021 trial conducted in Brazil gave mouthwash with 1% hydrogen peroxide and nasal spray with 0.5% hydrogen peroxide to patients with COVID-19. The trial found, quote, insufficient evidence to demonstrate that H2O2 is effective as an auxiliary treatment for hospitalized COVID-19 patients. So we can verify, no, you should not inhale nebulized hydrogen peroxide for any reason, and it's not a COVID-19 treatment. With your Fast Fact, I'm Ariande Till.
Welcome back to DBL. Shopping for your kid's favorite toy this holiday season might be harder than expected. We're chatting about it on today's Bang for Your Buck presented by the Hartford. According to the Toy Association, this year's sales are already up 18%, and that momentum is expected to continue. So here are some shopping tips. First, stock up now. It might seem silly to start buying now, but that's exactly what you should be doing. Next, expand your search. If you can, select the curbside pickup option. Online orders can get canceled by retailers if they run out. And last, widen your list. Encourage your kids to ask for a few different gifts. And if you want to treat yourself too, we've made it easy for you. For quality and affordable insurance, the Buck's got your back. Call the Hartford at 1-800-683-7108 or visit thehartford.com to learn more. You're the most experienced dad on the panel.
Yeah.
What advice would you give?
I'll just say, listen to your kids. It's no longer like everybody wants a Cabbage Patch Kid. Every kid wants something very specific. Throw it into Google. You will be able to find it and buy it.
I have one of the original Cabbage Patch dolls.
Do you really?
Yeah.
All right.
She brought that freak show in.
That wasn't a Cabbage Patch doll. That was a Samantha doll.
Oh, that's a freak show.
You're right.
Cabbage Patches are cute. That's a freak show.
That doll's
We'll be right back.
terrifying.
That's my American Girl doll.
Yeah, you're lucky it didn't
keep it in that box.
Keep it in the box.
Have you seen that doll?
Yeah, it's scary.
Oh my God.
My original Cabbage
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
of us, fall means football, sweater weather, and the seasonal flu. But now we've also got COVID to worry about. Our verified viewers are asking, is it true that you don't need to space out your flu and COVID booster shots? Let's verify.
Our sources are University of Louisville Hospital's Hugh Schaff and Kristen Nordland, a spokesperson with the CDC. They say there's no need to space out your flu and COVID shots, whether it's your initial dose or a booster shot.
And you can get both vaccines at the same time because it's different vaccines for different diseases. So when you inject these vaccines into you receive the injection, your body's creating antibodies to two different diseases.
And he says, bring on those antibodies. The CDC agrees. In an email to verify,
spokesperson Kristen Nordland says getting both your flu and COVID vaccines at the same time isn't just convenient, it's recommended. She writes, co-administration of all recommended vaccines is important because it increases the probability that people will be fully vaccinated. In other words,
really the important part is just getting the vaccine.
So we can verify this is true. You don't have to space out your flu and COVID vaccines.
And yes, you may feel less than 100% for a few days after those shots, but health experts say you'll be far better off than if you came down with the flu or COVID. Their takeaway, get vaccinated. With your Verify, I'm Paula Vasan.
Don't miss a day of DBL. I am here to receive said gift. Bold debates. Come on now. Enough.
Get real.
It blows my mind.
Hot celebs.
Happy 5th anniversary.
Love a suit, by the way.
Thank you.
Seriously, Al, give her a break. That just sounded weird, actually.
And all the laughs. That's Erica feeling it. Okay, I'm done with you. I'm done. DBL is always all new every day. Tomorrow on DBL, legendary comedian Bill Engvall will be here live while he's retiring from the road. Plus, country music group Old Dominion talks about their new album, Time, Tequila, and Therapy.
I remember it like it was yesterday, 'cause it was. And I was letting the sun and the rum just do what it does.
That's tomorrow on DBL.
Welcome back to DBL. Okay, Al, we found a photo of your gaming chair.
Oh, no.
Okay, so, yeah. So we have the goal to go after Dancing with the Stars, trying to do their due diligence and make the best with what they have for COVID.
Okay. Can I explain that?
Yes.
That was a couple weeks into COVID. I had driven to LA. I was at my kids' room in their ridiculous chair, and I looked like I was from the future.
You did.
And I looked crazy, but that's what the setups looked like before we understood lighting and things like that. Dancing with the Stars doesn't have that anymore.
But remember, you were just talking when we were at each other's houses. They were trying to dance with each other. That's what sort of got it for me. I was like, don't dance with each other in separate rooms on Zoom.
Trying to make lemonade out of lemon.
I know. I didn't like the lemonade. I'm sorry. What? I'm allowed?
You're a terrible person.
I'm gonna let you guys just.
I love it. I say we just be quiet till the end of the show.
I said we all get gamer chairs.
Be quiet.
What?
Let's do that.
No,
they look great.
Big chairs.
DBL's new every day. We'll see.
Let's connect the dots. This is all part of the Postal Service's new standards. USPS says 61% of mail will not be impacted by these changes. So what does that mean? Single-piece mail, so things like letters and bills that are traveling within the same region will still arrive within those 2 days. The Postal Service estimates that if you're trying to mail something less than 900 miles away, it will still get there in about 3 days. Items traveling further distances will take longer, up to 5 days. This is because the Postal Service is now relying more on ground transportation and less on planes. Ultimately, yes, it means it's cheaper for them. It also means you need to plan ahead. Mail things early, especially as we head into the holiday season. And that is Connecting the Dots.
Don't miss a day of DBL. Bold debates. Enough.
Get real.
Hot celebs.
Happy 5th anniversary.
That just sounded weird, actually.
And all the laughs. Okay, I'm done with this. DBL is always all new every day.
Here's what we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
The great Facebook and Instagram outage of 2021. Did this prove how much we rely on these apps every single day? Sarah Silverman calls out people who aren't Jewish playing Jewish roles.
Jews don't count.
Does she have a point? And was Britney Spears' night on Dancing with the Stars a big fail?
Hit me, baby, one more time.
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane? This is a sham.
No. Nope.
Y'all, just stop.
Finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. It's Tuesday, October 5th. I'm Sam here with Al, Jeff, and Tori. And when I came in, you all had something to say about my outfit.
Yeah, I like it.
Happy Merry Christmas.
Yes. Definitely.
What is this, velvet? It's a great line.
And it's not just a velvet top. Like, there's pants in it.
All right.
You're draped in velvet.
You really are.
Like a Santa.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
great.
you have a velvet suit you might wear.
I do. I'll see if we can get it for the last picture of the show.
Oh, God.
Kiera, you seen it?
Okay. All right. So let's get right to it. I'm curious
That might
if
be
our
illegal.
viewers and all of you, how did you guys survive the big blackout? We're talking about the Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp outage. In case you didn't notice, the major social media sites disappeared from the internet for hours yesterday. Well, they are back up and working now after Facebook says it fixed a server issue. So during the outage, CEO Mark Zuckerberg lost an estimated $6 billion in a matter of hours. Can you believe that? Meanwhile, the company lost out on nearly $100 million in revenue. That's according to Fortune. Twitter capitalized on the outage, tweeting, "Hello, literally everyone." So apparently they needed to just like restart the server, but there's a conspiracy theory behind it.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not buying it, okay? First of all, I'm not buying the $6 billion in 6 hours. That means he makes $1 billion an hour? I don't think so. Here's what I think. First of all, I never even post, and I tried to post something yesterday. Of course. I didn't. I'm like, I forgot how to post, and Jordan's like, it's not working, and I'm like, yeah, we talked about it on the show. So that was a fail. But anyways, I don't think this is real for the fact that I think Facebook is taking a lot of heat, Instagram, all social media in general, and they had that woman testifying, right? So I think they're like, you know what? How are you going to live without me for a couple hours? I'm going to show you what life is like without it. And they did it on purpose. That's just my theory. I don't think they lost all that money. I think they wanted to show everybody we don't like the pushback that we're getting.
I hate to say this, but I agree with Jeffrey. And when I say this, first of all, $6 billion was in stock, so it wasn't exactly like he liquid losing it. But I completely agree that they did it to show you want to be without us? Watch. And the reason is Frances Haugen is testifying. She did CBS 60 Minutes. She's a whistleblower. You think it's that much of a coincidence that Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp go down when she comes out and says they knew it was toxic? They're calling it a big tobacco moment for big tech. So then they go down? Smart. And it's just showing you how much you need it. I will say I did take a walk without my phone. I could smell and see the birds.
How did you feel about, like, not, or do you not even post? Because you don't, do you?
No, I'm getting back on it. But I kind of removed myself in a weird way. You think about it, I did stand-up comedy before, like, people were on Instagram. So I used to go into scary bars, and I would do comedy for people that did not want to hear it. So I am used to people saying things, saying they are not enjoying this in different kinds of language. And Facebook was too toxic for me. So I think that should say something. But the other question is, are we allowed to take down a company when their profit, when their motive is negative? It seems to be working. It seems to have tapped into something that's inside of all of us, Sam. And we need to be honest about the equation inside of all this is us.
No.
People like conflict. Otherwise, it will go away.
I know, but they have a responsibility, in my opinion. First of all, I loved that it was down yesterday. And I know that Facebook and Instagram, there's much more bigger, social justice movements that they really do help. So I understand that there's that issue, and it really did affect a lot of those really important issues. But just on a personal level, like, I struggle with addiction, and for me, I just want it to go away. Like, I really do. Even though there's a lot of benefits to it, I want it gone. So I personally loved the break from it. But I do think that this is the wild, wild west still. I do think that social media apps need to find some sort of balance where they're not driven completely by money and have some sort of ethics involved. They can't make it so addictive and so conflict driven that it destroys the planet. So I hope.
I do agree with that.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So how would you feel if you saw a video of your husband with another woman dancing up on him? I know what I would do. This story has been building for the last few days. So Jacksonville Jaguars coach Urban Meyer, you guys.
Ew.
Yep, I know. Ew. Was filmed at a bar over the weekend, and the video went viral. In it, a young woman is dancing up on him. Meyer is married and a grandfather with the grandkids. His wife was at home with the grandkids at the time. He has since apologized. Take a look.
We don't have the audio.
No, they're working on it. And then afterwards, maybe when you're working on that, can we see her dancing up on him again? Because I feel like, where was his hand?
I think his hand was kind of blocking, so she wouldn't have full access.
Are you kidding me right now?
Is he sitting too?
He's sitting on a stool, it appears. And whether people, like, my question, and I want to talk to the two married women here. How do you guys feel if that was your husband? I know it's not great, but it's not making out. Where does this fall? I'm just asking.
Where was his hand?
It looked like his hand was there to prevent her from getting full access. I'm not defending.
Before you chime in, Tori, we do have his apology. Let's take a listen.
I just apologize to the team and staff and for being a distraction, just stupid. And so I explained everything that happened and owned it, and just stupid. Should not have myself in that kind of position.
Ugh, Tori.
Snip, snip, snip. If I saw that, I mean, honestly.
What do you mean snip, snip?
That's the end of your relationship?
I'm kidding around. My mother always said if my father cheated, snip, snips. It was a joke. But what I'm saying to you is, no matter if it's kissing or not, no matter if it's kissing, that is more intimate than even some kisses. So I would be furious. And I also think at some point someone was like, this guy keeps hitting on me. Who is it? And it was Urban Meyer in her photograph. So I don't know what he was doing. Maybe he was overserved, but it was too much.
That's more intimate than kisses?
That grinding? Some kisses.
Is there, when I saw, listen, it's not right. I'm not sticking up for him. But when I saw he was sitting down, I thought he was on a dance floor. Did that make a difference to anybody?
Like, he doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
There's a proximity issue. Like, it should never get that. She should never be that close.
You say, excuse me, can you please
get away from my husband?
Can you please move? Just like if a guy started grinding up on me just because he's on the dance floor, I'm not going to allow it. I'm going to say,
how could they not with that velvet dress?
Yeah, exactly. What if he just wants to feel good about life for a second?
Oh, good. I would say, excuse me, I know this is a dance floor, but do you mind? I'm married. And I would expect my husband to do the same. I would expect Urban to do the same.
This is the thing that people, I feel like, aren't saying. he shouldn't have been in there to begin with. And
He can go to a bar.
No, he is too old.
His whole
That's
team,
why, Sam.
his whole team left, and he stayed there. They're on a road game, and the whole team left.
Is this
He
the
stayed
sound of
back
a bad
and went
slow
out to a
for
bar.
him?
He should not have been there. He knows better. He shouldn't have been in that position.
He should not have been in there because he's too old to be in there. That is a young people's bar, and he's in there trying to be young, and he got caught.
You sound like Father
That's
Time.
ridiculous.
I'm with you.
I am.
I'm serious.
I am
You should
too
have
old.
enough confidence and enough wherewithal to wherever he's at to not act that way. I don't care if he's in a sleazy bar. I don't care
if he's drunk.
Yes,
he should
you
know
don't act
to be a
that
better
way.
husband.
But when you're in a sleazy bar and you're drunk, you're going to make poor decisions.
You are?
Which he did. If you're in a sleazy bar and you're drunk, you're not more prone to make bad decisions?
Maybe you're more prone, but if I don't care how drunk I was, you're not going to see me gyrating on some dude.
I believe that, but not everybody is you. Has your
I was waiting for you to break after you said gyrate.
Exactly.
I was just staring at you.
Did you buy his apology real quick? Did you buy it?
Yeah, he's embarrassed.
Yeah, he's
what he did was embarrassing. His wife's at home with the grandchildren.
But he only apologized because he got caught.
Of course, but that's
how apologies
You don't
work.
think he's embarrassed? That's embarrassing.
Of course he's
The whole
embarrassed.
team is embarrassed of him. It's an embarrassing situation for him.
Say embarrassed one more time.
Gyrating.
Okay. I can't. Okay, to boldly go where no 90-year-old man has ever gone before. Just like Captain Kirk, music. William Shatner is going to space next week on the Blue Origin's rocket owned by Jeff Bezos. He'll be the oldest person ever to fly to space. Here's what he said about it on the Today Show.
I'm going to see the vastness of space and the extraordinary miracle of our Earth and how fragile it is compared to the forces at work in the universe. That's really what I'm looking for.
Well, let me say something really quick as a Trekkie, and I'm the next generation, #TNG, thank you, you're out there. The idea of Star Trek was that it was exploration, not war, not colonialism. We were going to go out there and we didn't care about race. The first interracial kiss was with Shatner. We didn't care about aliens or species. We were all out there to educate ourselves and learn. Star Trek, for a lot of people, is how people learned about space. And I really think Shatner going out there is a really nice thing, and I'm really happy about it.
It's going to be the most boring episode of Star Trek ever. It's going to be an older gentleman looking at blackness and then coming back. There's nothing up there. It's a waste of time.
Are you kidding
There's
me?
nothing that we can get close to that's
Al,
cool.
you gotta believe in space
Go
exploration.
home and turn the lights off in your basement and you'll see the exact
How
same
dare
thing.
you?
Is he going to float, though? Is he going to,
Of course,
not have gravity?
yeah, he should, but it's only for like 4 minutes.
You know he's going to think he's an expert because of his Star Trek days. But first of all, Al, if somebody walked in right now, Jeff Bezos walked in right now and said, Albert, I'm going to take you up on the rocket, you'd be like, boring. No.
I would take a picture of what you're wearing and be like, I met an alien up there. And then I'd post it and I'd say, thanks, Jeff.
All right, coming up on DBL. Oprah Winfrey reveals she only has 3 close friends. So we have to ask, how many close friends do you keep in your inner circle? And is Meghan Trainor just a bit too close with her husband? She reveals a custom home installation that, well, it's grossed us out. And undiagnosed breast cancer is on the rise because of the pandemic. Dr. Coley weighs in on what you should do if you've missed routine exams. She joins us next, live.
Closed captioning provided by
Yeah, we forgot to leave her out. She definitely, in our opinion, knew who he was.
I think so. She said
she
she
bears
did.
responsibility too. You don't go up to a married man. I never would.
She said she didn't know who she was. She tweeted out a picture. Or
Yeah, she
tweeted
on her
something out.
Instagram, she goes, this guy keeps flirting with me. Apparently, he had some kind of ownership with that bar, I think. I think he owned that place. And I think this is my theory. I think he went over there originally to have some drinks, take some pictures with people, saying, Coach, this guy's my daughter's friend, whatever.
Right.
And I think he kept having whiskeys. And yeah, have you ever been at like a bar kind of restaurant where it turns into a nightclub?
And then you're like, it's time to leave.
The lights come down.
He owned the restaurant
Right, that's what I
next
just
door.
said.
Okay, he owned the restaurant next door, and then they, in a group, went next door to get a drink after they had dinner or something.
And to be fair, he was a coach at Ohio State, so he had a lot of friends in Ohio. The team went back. He stayed to visit his friends. Not making excuses, just setting up the situation.
Right, yeah, so I think that's what happened. And Chris, I was telling Jeff, I think what happened was sometimes you're at a bar or restaurant and like you're there, it's like 6:30, 6:50, and then at 8 o'clock Doc. Music starts coming up and the lights come down. You're like, people start dancing. You're like, oh, this is turning into it.
And that's when you leave.
I know. By that time, he was probably 4 deep and was like, hey. Yeah. And I think that's what happened. I'm not making an excuse.
No, I totally agree.
You know,
but as you get older, you know that transition, right? You're like, what's going on? I got to get out of here.
You got to get out of there. Jeff, I will say, anybody that is watching, I've been out with you, I would say, over 200 times. You always take your behind home. Every single time. You've never.
Yeah, I pull the plug. I have fun. I'm like, I'm out. Yeah.
Welcome back to DBL. October kicks off Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and this year as many as 12,000 women could go undiagnosed with the disease because of the pandemic. So Dr. Coley, thank you so much for joining us. So what advice would you give to women who have skipped their mammograms?
Sam, it's time for damage control. This virus has been winning, and a lot of us are worried that the next curve is going to be the cancer curve, the heart disease curve, all the screenings that we missed during the pandemic. So there's two things we need to do as women and men to screen ourselves for breast cancer. The first is mammograms. So if you're over the age of 40, you missed your mammogram once a year, it's time to go get it. And there's 500,000 women out there that are overdue for their mammogram that need to go get it. But the second is breast self-exams. So it's really important for us to check our breasts at least once a month. And we as women know how our breasts are supposed to feel. So we actually pick up a lot of cancers. Did you know that 50% of cancers are picked up by self-exam?
No.
And some are actually picked up by your partner, who can also pick up some cancers as well. So do you know how to do a breast self-exam?
I do, yeah. You know, I neglected all things breast cancer until my sister was diagnosed with breast cancer last year. And my sister is almost through the woods. She has one more surgery in a few weeks.
Hey.
Monica Gauthier, you are a warrior. But she was always on top of that, always on top of breast exams, always on top of getting her mammogram. I never did. I'm 41 years old and I had my first, I still don't do breast exams, I'll be honest with you, but I had my first mammogram. You and I talked about it. You actually drove me to go do it, and so did my sister. And that's life-saving. They said if my sister did not do her regular mammograms like she does, who knows if she would be alive today.
Not only that, Monica, you getting your mammogram could have saved Sam's life, could have saved your other sister Erica's life, because early breast cancer in a family member sets off an alarm bell that you need to start looking. And Monica, by doing what she was supposed to do, has actually probably diagnosed her cancer super early, when it's tiny, when it's curable, before it's spread, before it becomes that lump that you can feel, because actually we can't feel stuff until it's at least a centimeter, which is the size of a marble. So if you get those microscopic cells in there, that mammogram is going to pick it up and save your life. So kudos to Monica for setting an example for all of us.
Absolutely. All right, Doc, let's talk holidays, because they're around the corner. First up, Halloween. People are going to be getting together whether they're
Do
vaccinated.
you have a costume
or
yet?
not.
Or?
I got something
Got
on
a
deck. I got
surprise?
something on deck. I don't want to reveal too
He's
much.
cooking something.
Good one. What do we do to keep ourselves safe from bad jokes and from, the virus?
I don't know about bad jokes. I think you can't protect yourself from those, especially on this desk.
Ooh,
But
zinger.
for the virus, so if you're not vaccinated, Jeff, I want to make a plea to all those Americans out there that are not vaccinated. Please go out and get that vaccine, because it's going to help us to celebrate our holidays the way that we want to. For you, I have a Zorro costume in mind, which has a mask in place, so that'll protect you as well.
Is that how you think about me? Uh-oh.
I love it. All right, well, Doc, I got to get this in.
Now that it's really weird, Al.
And we do have to switch gears, and this kind of speaks to a lot of people in my family, because high blood pressure runs in my family. A lot of people with high blood pressure might have something in their cabinet that's over the counter that could be really bad for them. Like, talk to us about what that might be.
Yeah, you know, this is something that sneaks through actually for a lot of people, because people think if it's available over the counter, you don't have to worry about it. But if you have high blood pressure, there are a lot of medications out there like ibuprofen, decongestants like Sudafed, allergy medicines that have the D on it, like Zyrtec D or Claritin D, even some heartburn medications that have sodium in them. That can raise your blood pressure. So I sometimes have patients that come in and they've had a heart attack or a stroke because they've been taking ibuprofen for a few weeks because of knee pain or something like that. So it's really, really important to talk to your doctor, of course, about which medicines to avoid. But ibuprofen, decongestants, and anything with sodium, those are the ones to look at.
Life-saving information as always. Thank you so much, Dr. Coley. If you guys have a medical question you want answered by Dr. Coley, write us on social media. You can also email us at info@dailyblastlive.com. We will be right back.
COVID-19 is being shared online. It involves inhaling hydrogen peroxide through a nebulizer, the same device used in treating asthma. So let's verify. Is inhaling nebulized hydrogen peroxide a treatment for COVID-19? We went to these sources for an answer. Inhaling hydrogen peroxide can be hazardous to your health, and you shouldn't do it. The Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America made a stern warning in a September blog post stating it is dangerous. Hydrogen peroxide in liquid form is used as a mild antiseptic and an ingredient in household cleaners. While you might be exposed to it when you're cleaning your home or using toothpaste with added hydrogen peroxide, the quantities are diluted enough that it's safe to use. The Agency for Toxic Substances and Disease Registry said inhaling a concentration of 10% or more of hydrogen peroxide can cause severe irritation to the lungs or even burned tissue. In some extreme cases, inhaling it can cause respiratory paralysis. A 2021 trial conducted in Brazil gave mouthwash with 1% hydrogen peroxide and nasal spray with 0.5% hydrogen peroxide to patients with COVID-19. The trial found, quote, insufficient evidence to demonstrate that H2O2 is effective as an auxiliary treatment for hospitalized COVID-19 patients. So we can verify, no, you should not inhale nebulized hydrogen peroxide for any reason, and it's not a COVID-19 treatment. With your Fast Fact, I'm Ariane Till.
Welcome back to DBL. Do you talk to strangers? If not, maybe you should start, because a new study shows deep and meaningful conversations with people you don't know is actually good for your well-being. They said these meaningful conversations and connections tend to make people happier, even if they may seem awkward at first. I know that you talk to strangers because I've been in Ubers with you, and oh my gosh.
I love when they're from out of the country too. That's even better, because I can be like, oh, I visited your country, and I try to make them feel welcome. I love talking to strangers. You learn so much from strangers, and some strangers tend to be older too. I actually wrote down a show that I had an idea for. I'll just say because I'm never going to do it. But I wanted to just go up like at lunch. You know, when you see people like sitting by themselves, I always have this notion to talk to them, but I don't. And I'm like, I just want to grab a tray, sit down with them, and film it, and just learn from them. Talk
what
to them.
What if they don't want to talk to you?
Well, then I pick the next guy. You know what I mean?
I don't want to be.
And I say something snarky to them. But then, you know what I mean? I just always wanted to talk, because I feel so bad for people sitting by themselves alone when they probably have so much to offer, but no one to talk to because they might be scared.
I admire that a lot about you.
I do too. And
you're the
opposite.
opposite.
Yeah, except that in Denmark and Sweden, I've been researching this. In libraries, you ready for this?
Look at how
you can rent someone to talk to for half an hour and learn about their culture.
Did you Google that?
Well, no, it's become a new thing in Denmark.
That takes the spontaneity, though.
But the idea of a total stranger, I'm going to take 30 minutes of your time, and we're going to have a one-on-one conversation about what you're like, what your culture is like, and it's really emphasizing the idea of cross-cultural conversation. How is this confusing?
I think that's weird.
You're setting it up. You're not just bumping into someone and be like, hey, what's up, stranger?
Some people have a hard time doing that.
No, that's taking the spontaneity out of it. And I know, I'm like you, I get awkward. But Dr. Coley, she's still in the studio, right? I want to know, Dr. Coley, from your medical perspective, do you think that this actually has merit?
You know, guys, I'm just glad that there's some science that makes us friendlier, makes us happier, and makes us more connected. I remember a few days ago I was on a plane, and the lady next to me kept talking and talking and talking, and I just wanted her to shut up.
Yes.
But now,
that's so honest.
I will admit my mistake that there is science out there that talking to strangers and opening up and being more connected makes us happier.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Coley.
I appreciate the honesty.
What about you and your neighbors?
No, I don't want to talk to anyone, ever. No, I have my thoughts and I'm trying to gather them for the show, for stand-up, how I want to connect with my daughter, what I want to do for dinner with my girl. I don't want to have a little chit-chat.
I'm the same.
And this nonsense platitudes. Hey, man, just every day is a different day. Stop, I don't want to hear it.
Every time I peek outside, my husband's talking to another neighbor.
Your husband is the biggest schmoozer I know.
My husband
biggest schmoozer
thinks
I know.
he's an introvert.
No,
you're not an introvert.
No, Mark, you're not.
You are the mayor of
To
our
the
neighborhood.
waiter. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're
He's
a chatty Cathy.
fascinating guy.
Yeah, you're not an introvert.
I like Tori. I pay for strangers to come over and talk to me. We meet randomly. I send them a check.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Tori's renting people again.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Coley, for your expertise. Coming up on DBL, Oprah talks about keeping her inner circle small with only 3 close friends. Can you guess who they are?
No new friends.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
For many of us, fall means football, sweater weather, and the seasonal flu. But now we've also got COVID to worry about. Our verified viewers are asking, is it true that you don't need to space out your flu and COVID booster shots? Let's verify.
Our sources are University of Louisville Hospital's Hugh Schaff and Kristen Nordland, a spokesperson with the CDC. They say there's no need to space out your flu and COVID shots, whether it's your initial dose or a booster shot.
And you can get both vaccines at the same time because it's different vaccines for different diseases. So when you inject those vaccines into you receive the injection, your body's creating antibodies to 2 different diseases.
And he says, bring on those antibodies. The CDC agrees. In an email to verify, spokesperson Kristen Nordland says getting both your flu and COVID vaccines at the same time isn't just convenient, it's recommended. She writes, co-administration of all recommended vaccines is important because it increases the probability that people will be fully vaccinated. In other words,
Really, the important part is just getting the vaccine.
So we can verify this is true. You don't have to space out your flu and COVID vaccines.
And yes, you may feel less than 100% for a few days after those shots, but health experts say you'll be far better off than if you came down with the flu or COVID. Their takeaway, get vaccinated. With your Verify, I'm Paula Vasan.
Don't miss a day of DBL.
I am here to receive that gift.
Bold debates. Come on now.
Enough.
Get real.
It blows my mind.
Hot celebs.
Happy 5th anniversary.
Love a suit, by the way.
Thank you.
Seriously, Al, give her a break. That just sounded weird, actually.
And all the laughs. Yes, Erica feeling it. Okay, I'm done with you. I'm done. DBL is always all new every day.
If you're leaving us, you can watch the second half of the show online. Watch on YouTube, dailyblastlive.com, or our DBL mobile app. But if you're sticking around, here is what's coming up. Sarah Silverman calls out Hollywood for quote-unquote Jew face. Should non-Jewish actors be playing Jewish parts? And it was Britney Spears' night on Dancing with the Stars, but was the evening a giant flop with last-minute COVID changes?
Let's connect the dots. This is all part of the Postal Service's new standards. USPS says 61% of mail will not be impacted by these changes. So what does that mean? Single-piece mail, so things like letters and bills that are traveling within the same region will still arrive within those 2 days. The Postal Service estimates that if you're trying to mail something less than 900 miles away, it will still get there in about 3 days. Items traveling further distances will take longer, up to 5 days. This is because the Postal Service is now relying more on ground transportation and less on planes. Ultimately, yes, it means it's cheaper for them. It also means you need to plan ahead. Mail things early, especially as we head into the holiday season. And that is connecting the dots.
Don't miss a day of DBL. Bold debates. Enough.
Get real.
Hot celebs.
Happy 5th anniversary.
That just sounded weird, actually.
And all the laughs. Okay, I'm done with this. DBL is always all new every day.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane?
This is a sham.
No. Nope.
Y'all, just stop.
Finally here. Drum roll.
Wow, Tori just did the drum roll.
Shut up, Sam.
Okay. Welcome to DBL.
It's always good to kick the segment off by telling your co-host to shut up.
I'm Sam here with Deb Valentori. Let's get started. So this week, Dancing with the Stars celebrated Britney Spears with a Britney night. So Tyra Banks came out wearing a schoolgirl outfit similar to the one Britney wore in her video, Baby One More Time. So here's Tyra next to Britney. What do you guys think? Interesting. Tyra also changed into another outfit that was inspired by Britney's I'm a Slave for You performance at the 2001 VMAs. And Derek Huff missed the show because of a possible exposure to COVID. Cody Rigsby and his partner Cheryl Burke both danced virtually and separately because they did test positive for COVID. Watch.
What?
Okay,
That's
go.
the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And I think that Dancing with the Stars is great. And
Dancing with the Stars.
You did say that very strangely. You should have been getting out of the stagecoach saying that.
Okay, let me just say this. If you got COVID and you got to be out for a week, go out for the week. Don't come on and do buffering with two 1994 computers of like, damn me go, give me goo. No one can see you.
Well, what were they supposed to do? Get zeros for the week?
Skip the week or have a guest star do a professional dance. Then do a professional dance with two professional dancers. Have Julianne Hough or someone come on and do it. That is embarrassing and it lowers your show. It just looks stupid and it looks unglossy. It looks unpolished.
But to be fair to everyone else on the show, you can't just skip a week, right? You'd have to drop out. And for them, this is like their one shot. Like, hey, let's go for it. They did get the lowest score, to your point, and I totally hear what you're saying.
Like, did you feel like...
But it's like, what, in 2 weeks, they could come back and possibly win the show. So if you got picked to be on Dancing with the Stars, wouldn't you want them to work around you having COVID?
Sure, give me the worst score that week, but take me out.
But then you're going to go home.
No. Oh, is that how it works? Or are they gone? I don't actually watch Dancing with the Stars.
We'll catch up on the rules maybe in a pre-production meeting. No, I would just say that the fact that even though they got the lowest score, which dance are we talking about, Sam? Theirs.
Dance.
They're keeping their name out there for another week rather than dropping out and leaving the public spotlight.
I thought it looked silly, but I give them kudos for doing the best that they could. When ground zero, and I say ground zero respectfully, but applying it to COVID happened in March 11th, and you were the only person in studio, and then a bunch of people were.
What about me? You just
I was about to.
No. How about you
She
guys?
was alone for a couple days. Then
No,
it was
she
you.
wasn't.
Yes, I was.
Oh. I thought you were.
Oh, yes, I was.
Okay, I just got a yes, she was.
Yes, I was.
Yeah, then it was
baby.
you. But you're missing my point.
The show didn't come back till I got
Okay, then my point was, then all of a sudden when you were doing your Zoom, you were like in a gaming chair, and God knows where. You were like in a random kitchen, well, your kitchen, but there was like nothing in your kitchen with a random candle because there was man smell, according to Jordan.
But Sam, that was
memories.
Yes, but that was when COVID first hit. We've had a year to make things right with COVID.
This is their first experience. I'm just saying.
I'm sorry. I thought that network would have some money to spend so it would look nice.
I was on your side going against Tori.
No, you skipped me and only talked about Tori saving the show at ground zero.
Al came in and you saved the show too, Al.
Thank you.
Very appreciative of
now I feel
Albert
bad.
Jackson.
And I'm just smelly Jeff.
I'm just saying. Okay. Okay. Let's get to this next story. Comedian Sarah Silverman isn't laughing about non-Jewish people playing Jewish characters on screen. Sarah is taking issue with the news that Kathryn Hahn, a Catholic, was cast to play Joan Rivers in an upcoming limited series. But on her podcast, Sarah said Hollywood has a long history of using Gentiles or non-Jewish actors to portray Jewish characters. Watch.
Jew face, doesn't feel good to say, is defined as when a non-Jew portrays a Jew with the Jewishness front and center, often with makeup or changing of features, big fake nose, all the New Yorkie or Yiddishy inflection. And in a time when the importance of representation is seen as so essential and so front and center, why does ours constantly get breached, even today, in the thick of it?
Tori, what do you think about this?
So I think two thoughts can be true. I don't think if you're Italian or Japanese or a certain character, you have to play that character. I don't go with that. I think when you're acting, you're acting. However, in Joan Rivers' case, I get it. As a Jew myself, not only was she an iconic Jewish female that broke the ceiling, the rhythm, the flavor of being a Jew sometimes feels like it comes culturally from inside. And having a non-Jew do Joan Rivers feels a little funny. And I say that with respect to with Miss Hahn, Kathryn Hahn, she's very funny. But to not pick a Sarah Silverman or another Jewish star leaves one to scratch their head. And I would say Jews often were played in the 30s and 40s with the big noses, and they were always getting money, and they were bankers. That's an old trope. We're done with it. It might have been nice to have an iconic comedian, Jewish, play Joan Rivers, an iconic Jewish comedian.
Yeah, I like that you said it feels funny. And then what I meant by that, Jeff, is when we speak about things now, Sam, everything's got to be, I was outraged, I was offended, you made me feel like, it just, sometimes you're like, I just wish you kind of maybe would have picked a Jewish actress to play this part. Obviously, anything we're talking about, prosthetic noses, that needs to be gone forever and wiped from the earth. But there are situations I brought up, like when I went to go see Hamilton and George Washington was played by a 6'5" black man. If we push back against anybody different playing a different role, then eventually it's going to circle back to you and it's going to say, well, what's up with Hamilton? And then what could I say?
Yeah, we did this story with what's his name playing Mario from the Mario Brothers?
Chris Pratt.
Yeah. I totally get what you're saying, Tori, and you're right. Sarah Silverman, I think, would be fantastic as Joan Rivers. But I think we're going, not in this case, but in general, too far. For Chris Pratt not to play Mario because he's not Italian, what's next? Sam, you have blue eyes. You can't play this brown-eyed woman. They're actors. They're portraying someone else.
Right.
So to get the job, you have to be that in your real life? Excuse me, are you Catholic?
No,
you can't
right.
play this part.
Right.
That doesn't make any sense. We're taking it a little too far. Not in this case.
Right.
I see what you're saying. But in general, when does it stop?
Isn't it funny how there always has to be this blanket rule when there shouldn't have to be? I agree with you. There's no discernment anymore. Why can't we take things case by case basis? Why do we have to say this is inappropriate? We can't have certain actors play certain parts because of their culture. How about we look at it case by case? You know, obviously when it comes to...
Because nuance is difficult, Sam.
Nobody has
It's
nuance.
mental push-ups and chin-ups, and people don't want to do it.
Yeah.
They just want to be, you're right, you're wrong. Not like, let's look at this. How does this make you feel? Well, here's how I feel.
That's
that
our
takes
show.
a lot more work, and a lot of times that does not happen over Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, unfortunately.
Yep. Okay, Oprah. Well, she says she only has a handful of close friends in her life. She revealed who they were on her Making Space with Hoda Kotb podcast. Listen.
So I don't have a lot of friends. Everybody knows Gail, there's Maria, there's Bob. And that's about it. I never really expanded that circle until recently. I've become friends with a couple of people in my later adult life.
I wonder who. Oprah said she, Gail King, and Maria Shriver have been friends for 42 years. And Bob is fitness expert Bob Green. Al, you always have a saying since I've known you, no new friends. Although we are all your close friends.
No new friends,
Yes.
homie.
Yes, yeah. But there's been a lot of vetting. How many hours have we spent together on live TV, but more off, voluntarily? And I mean, we've had good times and bad times and cry with each other and laugh with each other. So there's been a different vetting process. But I do think people throw the word friends around a lot, Sam, and it's going to get you hurt. When you don't know who you can trust, I always say this. This is how you can tell who's your friend, really quickly. Think about your name accidentally getting in the newspaper and it's attached to the worst thing in your head that you, child, death, murder, whatever. It's on the front page. Who do you call?
Right.
Who's going to pick up the phone? That's your friend. Anybody else is just somebody you drink with. Anybody else is somebody you sit next to on the bus every day. We've been next to each other 10 years. Doesn't matter. Who do you call that day? That's your friend. Everybody else is somebody you're friendly with.
Yeah, I agree. I have a tight group of friends, and it's your friends are who you share your insecurities with, right? Something that you tell somebody that they're not going to judge you for, but you talk to them and say, hey, I want to learn from this. I'm embarrassed about this. I need to get through this, and they help you through.
There's no judgment.
If there's people who say, oh, I'm here for you, and then talk behind your back or write something else or don't do that, those aren't your friends.
Right.
So you got to have a tight group. Even though I love talking to strangers, I love meeting new people. No new friends,
Boundaries.
homie. That's my saying.
There's
That's
a
my
saying,
saying.
I really like it. There's a saying that I really love that I want
That's
to teach
Al's saying,
everyone.
but I stole it.
And it's Drake saying.
And it's Drake saying. The saying goes, learn who is a check and who is a bill. And that in terms of friends, meaning who do you constantly have to invest your time and energy with, and who is actually investing in you? I heard that and it sort of changed my mind, like, a month ago. Yep. And you start to see who's sucking your energy and who do you want to invest in you. And it's a different way of looking at it.
That is so true.
I think it's interesting.
Yeah, and just at 41 years old, same thing. I'm, isolating people that make me feel not empowered or drained, and the people that uplift me and I feel like I could call, God forbid something horrible happened. Right. Those are the people I want in my inner circle.
Right. And there can be a lot of people in your outer circle. Some people are like,
That's
hey,
okay.
Friday night happy hour, I call this
like
guy.
that. Different.
But they're not who you call when something,
Exactly.
Bought.
This next story I feel like is Jeff's nightmare. Is this your nightmare?
This is Al's story. I got to give Al credit for
this. This was my nightmare.
I know. Okay,
yes.
So Meghan Trainor and her husband Daryl are really, really close. But are they too close? Meghan was on the Why Won't You Date Me podcast with Nicole Byer and confessed that she and her husband go to the bathroom together. Have a listen.
So I was like, can we please have two toilets next to each other? So we...
Bro, I'm telling you, it is insanity.
That's an exclusive.
You guys
Wait
are
a minute. We got two
sorry.
toilets sitting next to each other.
So she built two commodes next to each other so they could go to the bathroom at the same time.
Commodes? What year is this?
I'm also going to my blacksmithing
General in
class.
the 1920s? Commode. I understand, and Tori, you openly admit like you're in a codependent relationship, but I think this is taking it a step.
Disgusting.
That's disgusting.
But I mean, there are levels to this, homie. This is I don't do any of this. I don't even no bodily functions at all around me. I like to keep my partner at a different level. Like, you're not my homeboy. And so that's just me. I understand that Jeff's a little different.
What do you mean?
Not with this, but
I have an open door policy when it comes to going to the bathroom.
What?
Let me tell you why. So I don't mind. I don't want toilets next to each other. There's no privacy anymore. You're married, kids running in and out. There's no privacy. But me and my wife did meet on Big Brother, okay? You're in a house with 16 other people, one toilet. Ugh. Okay, so you get to know each other pretty quickly. So we came from that background.
It makes sense.
Now we have an open door policy. We're okay.
What?
We don't want to.
I like the mystery. Although
What
the
mystery?
kids...
You're going to lay in bed with a stomach ache? You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, this is a great show.
No, I just go excuse myself to the bathroom. I don't have
But
the
he
door
knows where you're
open.
going anyway.
So
We
what?
have
Do
an
I have the door open?
we have an unwritten. There's an upstairs bathroom and a downstairs bathroom. And if you're using the downstairs bathroom, I know what time it is.
Okay.
Yeah. So if I hear somebody going down the stairs or vice versa, then that's what's happening.
That's
if I
exhausting.
Look. Hey, look.
Keeps things.
Yeah. I don't want
like we don't know what happened.
Yeah, but I don't want to absolutely know. I want to guess.
Yeah.
I'd rather.
Yeah.
I don't want to know because sometimes you can't unsmell things.
Right. And as a parent, though, you're right. Like, no matter if I have the door closed or not, Mark can stay his distance. Both kids and the new dog all come in. I'm like, I can't. I can't.
Lock the door.
What do you got going on?
I should know.
I think
Then they bang.
You know what I'll say? I'm a little bit more on your side, and Brooks is more on your side. And he wishes I probably wasn't so relaxed.
Yeah, I don't want to.
I'm not saying I'm like, I would never do this. This is crazy. But I'm someone that's like, we know what's happening. We've been married almost 8 years. But he wishes.
Will you carry on the
there was more
conversation
mystery.
through the door?
Yeah, I'd leave the door.
I feel
don't
like
care.
you would.
Yeah.
No.
I still like giggle. Like if there's a good one, I'm like, oh. You don't. Stop it.
I don't.
No, I don't either. Mystery.
Yes, team mystery over here.
Mystery.
Yeah. Sometimes it's worse imagining it.
Imagining.
You know what I mean?
See,
Like,
you two are a lot more alike than you realize.
No, we're not.
I was going to say something, but I think we've got it.
Next in Heart Threads, this woman lands a job at the same hospital that treated her as a child. You don't want to miss this heartwarming story coming up next.
Closed captioning provided by
Really quick.
Chris
over here
What is
just
Instagram
told us something.
options?
Sorry. His social security is 211. Just told us he won't even brush his teeth in front of his wife.
That's insane.
That's insanity.
Brushing teeth is gross. It's just gross. Yeah, it's nasty.
No, I like to have mystery. Mark and I share everything but
Did you ever see the movie This Is 40?
Yeah.
It's like so true. When he's like, it's payback time. What's this? And he has to, like, it makes his wife like, but it's true. The bathroom, it's all off. I mean, it's
way open. And a lot of people writing in, Jeff, oh no, grew up one bathroom, but it's 2021. What mysteries
First of all,
left
people
Stan?
watched me going to the bathroom
Yeah,
for
they
3
did.
months. Not exactly, but they watched me going in there. And that's an aspect of Big Brother people don't talk about.
a little you time where it's just quiet
Yeah,
in
I do,
there?
yeah.
Like, just like, I don't
Yeah.
want to, like, like if somebody's knocking on the door, I'm like, whatever it is, I can't help you now. I can't. So, like, why are we...
Sophie and Miles start banging on the door, I just want to.
Do you remember Al's season 1? He would just go to be by himself in the bathroom, and there's always one person, and I won't name names, but always go as soon as he walked in. And Al would be like, the anger, the humility, the violation.
Really?
The violation.
Almost like almost deliberate, because I don't want to say I don't want to give anything
Good
away.
cover. They're no longer here. Yeah, but it was
deliberate.
There was like, because after a while I was just kind of like doing test runs,
Right.
And it like immediately.
Corey, that's you up there.
I don't think
Or do you want to see my outfit? Because it's
Hey, listen, it's what you guys work. You know what I mean? I think it's part of like falling in love with someone. But it's
Or
like
can I show
I'm
off
cool
my
with that, and I think you build
'Cause it
to a
is pretty
certain
cute.
level to be.
I could see it because
I don't want to get up every time I need to do something. You know?
Oh man, I have to. I want to keep that like.
Welcome back to DBL. You won't believe how this nurse came full circle to thank her childhood hospital. Her incredible story is today's Heartthreads.
This woman is the newest nurse at the same hospital that treated her as a child. Ashton Fritz was diagnosed with leukemia right before her 6th birthday. She made it her life goal to be a nurse. And now she's working on the same floor she was treated as a kid.
Coming back, I kind of still see the energy that was there 16 years ago. And like the staff here is awesome, and I see them go above and beyond for patients just like they did for me.
Ashley was told she'd be behind in school from the treatment. She used those doubts as motivation and graduated from East Tennessee State University in May.
Really cool to kind of get to prove people wrong and to come back to the place where, I mean, these people saved me.
Ashley always dreamed of helping kids, but didn't expect it to happen so quickly.
When I got the interview, I was over the moon. And then when I found out I got the job, I remember I called my mom. She was so excited, and I was just like, there's no way this is real. And for a long time, especially growing up, I didn't know, like, why me? Why did I have to go through that, and why did other kids not? But looking back now, like, I wouldn't change a single thing. Because it did. It made me who I am today, and it made me a fighter.
Ashley brings a unique perspective to each patient she serves.
It's just amazing to get to watch these kids, because even though I was one of them, they still amaze me, and it's just incredible what these kids can do.
I love Heartthreads. We'll be right back.
It's Hispanic Heritage Month, and DBL is celebrating by bringing attention to those who have left their mark on Hispanic culture. Today we honor J Balvin. The Colombian singer is one of the best-selling Latin music artists, selling more than 35 million records worldwide. He's been dubbed the Prince of Reggaeton. In recent years, he has been outspoken about his struggle with anxiety and depression, becoming an advocate for mental health, in spite of the stereotypes within Latin America.
Treatment for fighting COVID-19 is being shared online. It involves inhaling hydrogen peroxide through a nebulizer, the same device used in treating asthma. So let's verify. Is inhaling nebulized hydrogen peroxide a treatment for COVID-19? We went to these sources for an answer. Inhaling hydrogen peroxide can be hazardous to your health, and you shouldn't do it. The Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America made a stern warning in a September blog post stating, "It is dangerous." Hydrogen peroxide in liquid form is used as a mild antiseptic and an ingredient in household cleaners. While you might be exposed to it when you're cleaning your home or using toothpaste with added hydrogen peroxide, the quantities are diluted enough that it's safe to use. The Agency for Toxic Substances and Disease Registry said inhaling a concentration of 10% or more of hydrogen peroxide can cause severe irritation to the lungs or even burned tissue. In some extreme cases, inhaling it can cause respiratory paralysis. A 2021 trial conducted in Brazil gave mouthwash with 1% hydrogen peroxide and nasal spray with 0.5% hydrogen peroxide to patients with COVID-19. The trial found, quote, insufficient evidence to demonstrate that H2O2 is effective as an auxiliary treatment for hospitalized COVID-19 patients. So we can verify, no, you should not inhale nebulized hydrogen peroxide for any reason, and it's not a COVID-19 treatment. With your Fast Fact, I'm Ariande Till.
Welcome back to DBL. Shopping for your kid's favorite toy this holiday season might be harder than expected. We're chatting about it on today's Bang for Your Buck presented by The Hartford. According to the Toy Association, this year's sales are already up 18%, and that momentum is expected to continue. So here are some shopping tips. First, stock up now. It might seem silly to start buying now, but that's exactly what you should be doing. Next, expand your search. If you can, select the curbside pickup option. Online orders can get canceled by retailers if they run out. And last, widen your list. Encourage your kids to ask for a few different gifts. And if you want to treat yourself too, we've made it easy for you. For quality and affordable insurance, the Buck's got your back. Call the Hartford at 1-800-683-7108 or visit thehartford.com to learn more. You're the most experienced dad on the panel.
Yeah.
What advice would you give?
I'll just say, listen to your kids. It's no longer like everybody wants a Cabbage Patch Kid. Every kid wants something very specific. Throw it into Google. You will be able to find it and buy it.
I have one of the original Cabbage Patch dolls.
Do you really?
Yeah.
All right.
She brought that freak show in.
That wasn't a Cabbage Patch doll. That was a Samantha doll.
Oh, that's a freak show. You're right. Cabbage Patches are cute. That's a freak show.
That doll's
We'll be right back.
Terrifying.
That's my American Girl doll.
Yeah, you're lucky it didn't
keep it in that box.
Keep it in the box.
Have you seen that doll?
Yeah, it's scary.
My God.
My original Cabbage Patch.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
For many of us, fall means football, sweater weather, and the seasonal flu. But now we've also got COVID to worry about. Our Verify viewers are asking, is it true that you don't need to space out your flu and COVID booster shots? Let's verify.
Our sources are University of Louisville Hospital's Hugh Schaff and Kristen Nordland, a spokesperson with the CDC. They say there's no need to space out your flu and COVID shots, whether it's your initial dose or a booster shot.
And you can get both vaccines at the same time because it's different vaccines for different diseases. So when you inject these vaccines into you receive the injection, your body's creating antibodies to two different diseases.
And he says, bring on those antibodies. The CDC agrees. In an email to Verify,
spokesperson Kristen Nordland says getting both your flu and COVID vaccines at the same time isn't just convenient, it's recommended. She writes, co-administration of all recommended vaccines is important because it increases the probability that people will be fully vaccinated. In other words,
really the important part is just getting the vaccine.
So we can verify this is true. You don't have to space out your flu and COVID vaccines.
And yes, you may feel less than 100% for a few days after those shots, but health experts say you'll be far better off than if you came down with the flu or COVID. Their takeaway, get vaccinated. With your Verify, I'm Paula Basan.
Don't miss a day of DBL.
I am here to receive that gift.
Bold debates. Come on now.
Enough.
Get real.
It blows my mind.
Hot celebs.
Happy 5th anniversary.
Love a suit, by the way.
Thank you.
Seriously, Al, give her a break. That just sounded weird, actually.
And all the laughs. Yes, Erica feeling it. Okay, I'm done with you. I'm done. DBL is always all new every day.
on DBL, legendary comedian Bill Engvall will be here live while he's retiring from the road. Plus, country music group Old Dominion talks about their new album, Time, Tequila, and Therapy.
I remember it like it was yesterday, 'cause it was. And I was letting the sun and the rum just do what it does.
That's tomorrow on DBL.
Welcome back to DBL. Okay, Al, we found a photo of your gaming chair.
Oh, no.
Okay, so, yeah. So we have the goal to go after Dancing with the Stars, trying to do their due diligence and make the best with what they have for COVID.
Okay. Can I explain that?
Yes.
That was a couple weeks into COVID. I had driven to LA. I was at my kids' room in their ridiculous chair, and I looked like I was from the future.
You did.
And I looked crazy, but that's what the setups looked like before we understood lighting and things like that. Dancing with the Stars doesn't have that anymore.
But remember, you were just talking when we were at each other's houses. They were trying to dance with each other. That's what sort of got it for me. I was like, don't dance with each other in separate rooms on Zoom.
Trying to make lemonade out of lemonade.
I know. I didn't like the lemonade. I'm sorry. What? I'm allowed.
You're a terrible person.
I'm gonna let you guys just.
I love it. I say we just be quiet till the end of the show.
I said we all get gamer chairs.
Be quiet.
What?
Let's do that.
No,
they look great.
Big chairs.
DBL's new every day. We'll see.
Let's connect the dots. This is all part of the Postal Service's new standards. USPS says 61% of mail will not be impacted by these changes. So what does that mean? Single-piece mail, so things like letters and bills that are traveling within the same region will still arrive within those 2 days. The Postal Service estimates that if you're trying to mail something less than 900 miles away, it will still get there in about 3 days. Items traveling further distances will take longer, up to 5 days. This is because the Postal Service is now relying more on ground transportation and less on planes. Ultimately, yes, it means it's cheaper for them. It also means you need to plan ahead. Mail things early, especially as we head into the holiday season. And that is Connecting the Dots.
Don't miss a day of DBL. Bold debates.
Enough.
Get real.
Hot celebs.
Happy 5th anniversary.
That just sounded weird, actually.
And all the laughs. Okay, I'm done with this. DBL is always all new every day.
Here's what we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
The great Facebook and Instagram outage of 2021. Did this prove how much we rely on these apps every single day? Sarah Silverman calls out people who aren't Jewish playing Jewish roles.
Jews don't count.
Does she have a point? And was Britney Spears' night on Dancing with the Stars a big fail?
Hit me, baby, one more time.
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane? This is a sham.
No. Nope.
Y'all, just stop.
Finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. It's Tuesday, October 5th. I'm Sam here with Al, Jeff, and Tori. And when I came in, you all had something to say about my outfit.
Yeah, I like it.
Happy Merry Christmas.
Yes. Definitely.
What is this, velvet? It's a great line.
And it's not just a velvet top. Like, There's pants attached.
All right.
You're draped in velvet.
You really are.
Like a Santa.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
great.
you have a velvet suit you might wear.
I do. I'll see if we can get it for the last picture of the show.
Oh, God.
Kiera, you seen it?
Okay. All right. So let's get right to it. I'm curious
That might
if
be
our
illegal.
viewers and all of you, how did you guys survive the big blackout? We're talking about the Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp outage. In case you didn't notice, the major social media sites disappeared from the internet for hours yesterday. Well, they are back up and working now after Facebook says it fixed a server issue. So during the outage, CEO Mark Zuckerberg lost an estimated $6 billion in a matter of hours. Can you believe that? Meanwhile, the company lost out on nearly $100 million in revenue. That's according to Fortune. Twitter capitalized on the outage, tweeting, "Hello, literally everyone." So apparently they needed to just like restart the server, but there's a conspiracy theory behind it.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not buying it, okay? First of all, I'm not buying the $6 billion in 6 hours. That means he makes $1 billion an hour? I don't think so. Here's what I think. First of all, I never even post, and I tried to post something yesterday.
Of course.
Of course. I didn't, I'm like, I forgot how to post. And Jordan's like, it's not working. And I'm like, yeah, we talked about it on the show. So that was a fail. But anyways, I don't think this is real for the fact that I think Facebook is taking a lot of heat, Instagram, all social media in general, and they had that woman testifying, right? So I think they're like, you know what? How are you going to live without me for a couple hours? I'm going to show you what life is like without it. And they did it on purpose. That's just my theory. I don't think they lost all that money. I think they wanted to show everybody we don't like the pushback that we're getting.
I hate to say this, but I agree with Jeffrey. And when I say this, first of all, $6 billion was in stock, so it wasn't exactly like he liquid losing it. But I completely agree that they did it to show you, you want to be without us? Watch. And the reason is, Frances Haugen is testifying. She did CBS 60 Minutes. She's a whistleblower. You think it's that much of a coincidence that Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp go down when she comes out and says they knew it was toxic? They're calling it a big tobacco moment for big tech. So then they go down? Smart. And it's just showing you how much you need it. I will say I did take a walk without my phone. I could smell and see the birds.
How did you feel about like not, or do you not even post? Because you don't, do you?
No, I'm getting back on it. But I kind of removed myself in a weird way. You think about I did stand-up comedy before like people were on Instagram. So I used to go into scary bars and I would do comedy for people that did not want to hear it. So I am used to people saying things, saying they are not enjoying this in different kinds of language. And Facebook was too toxic for me. So I think that should say something. But the other question is, are we allowed to take down a company when their profit, when their motive is negative? It seems to be working. It seems to have tapped into something that's inside of all of us, Sam. And we need to be honest about the equation inside of all this is us.
No.
People like conflict. Otherwise, it will go away.
I know, but would they have a responsibility, in my opinion? First of all, I loved that it was down yesterday. And I know that Facebook and Instagram, there's much more bigger, social justice movements that they really do help. So I understand that there's that issue, and it really did affect a lot of those really important issues. But just on a personal level, like I struggle with addiction, and for me, I just want it to go away. Like I really do, even though there's a lot of benefits to it. I want it gone. So I personally loved the break from it. But I do think that this is the wild, wild west still. I do think that social media apps need to find some sort of balance where they're not driven completely by money and have some sort of ethics involved. They can't make it so addictive and so conflict driven that it destroys the planet. So I hope.
I do agree with that.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So how would you feel if you saw a video of your husband with another woman dancing up on him? I know what I would do. This story has been building for the last few days. So Jacksonville Jaguars coach Urban Meyer, you guys.
Ew.
Yep, I know.
Ew.
Was filmed at a bar over the weekend, and the video went viral. In it, a young woman is dancing up on him. Meyer is married and a grandfather with the grandkids. His wife was at home with the grandkids at the time. He has since apologized. Take a look.
We don't have the audio?
No, they're working on it. And then afterwards, maybe when you're working on that, can we see her dancing up on him again? Because I feel like, where was his hand?
I think his hand was kind of blocking, so she wouldn't have full access.
God, are you kidding me right now?
Is he sitting too?
He's sitting on a stool, it appears. And whether people, like my question, and I want to talk to the two married women here. How do you guys feel if that was your husband? I know it's not great, but it's not making out. Where does this fall? I'm just asking.
Where was his hand?
It looked like his hand was there to prevent her from getting full access. I'm
First of all,
not
okay, before you
defending.
chime in, Tori, we do have his apology. Let's take a listen.
I just apologize to the team and staff and for being a distraction, just stupid. And so I explained everything that happened and owned it, and just stupid. Should not have myself in that kind of position.
Ugh, Tori.
Snip, snip, snip. If I saw that, I mean, honestly.
What do you mean snip,
That's
snip?
the end of your relationship?
I'm kidding around. My mother always said if my father cheated, snip, snips. It was a joke. But what I'm saying to you is, no matter if it's kissing or not, no matter if it's kissing, that is more intimate than even some kisses. So I would be furious. And I also think at some point someone was like, this guy keeps hitting on me. Who is it? And it was Urban Meyer in her photograph. So I don't know what he was doing. Maybe he was overserved, but it was too much.
That's more intimate than kisses?
That grinding? Some kisses.
Is there, when I listen, it's not right. I'm not sticking up for him. But when I saw he was sitting down, I thought he was on a dance floor. Did that make a difference to anybody?
Like he wasn't matter.
It doesn't matter at all.
There's a proximity issue. Like it should never get that. She should never be that
you
close.
Say, excuse me, can you please
get away from my
Can you please move? Just like if a guy started grinding up on me just because he's on the dance floor, I'm not going to allow it. I'm going to say,
how can they not with that velvet dress?
Yeah, exactly. What if he just wants to feel good about life for a second?
Oh, good. I would say, excuse me, I know this is a dance floor, but do you mind? I'm married. And I would expect my husband to do the same. I would expect Urban to do the same.
This is the thing that people, I feel like, aren't saying. He shouldn't have been in there to begin with. And I
can go to a bar.
No, he is too old.
His whole
That's
team,
why, Sam.
His whole team left, and he stayed there. They're on a road game, and the whole team left.
Is this a sound of a bad
and went out to a bar. He should have not have been there. He knows better. He shouldn't have been in that position.
He should not have been in there because he's too old to be in there. That is a young people's bar, and he's in there trying to be young, and he got caught on.
You sound like Father
That's
Time.
ridiculous.
I'm with you.
I am.
I'm serious.
I am
You should
too
have
old.
enough confidence and enough wherewithal to wherever he's at to not act that way. I don't care if he's in a sleazy bar. I don't care
if he's drunk.
Yes,
he should know how to be a better husband.
But when you're in a sleazy bar and you're drunk, you're going to make poor decisions.
You are?
Which he did. If you're in a sleazy bar and you're drunk, you're not more prone to make bad decisions.
Maybe you're more prone, but if I don't care how drunk I was, you're not going to see me gyrating on some dude.
I believe that, but not everybody is you. Has your.
I was waiting for you to break after you said gyrate.
Exactly.
I was just staring at you.
Did you buy his apology real quick? Did you buy it?
Yeah, he's embarrassed.
Yeah, he's
what he did was embarrassing. His wife's at home with the grandchildren.
But he only apologized because he got caught.
Of course, but
that's how apologies
work. You don't
work.
think he's embarrassed? That's embarrassing.
Of course he's
embarrassed. The whole team is embarrassed of him. It's an embarrassing situation for him.
Say embarrassed one more time.
Gyrating.
Okay. I can't. Okay, to boldly go where no 90-year-old man has ever gone before. Just like Captain Kirk, music. William Shatner is going to space next week on the Blue Origin's rocket owned by Jeff Bezos. He'll be the oldest person ever to fly to space. Here's what he said about it on the Today Show.
I'm going to see the vastness of space and the extraordinary miracle of our Earth and how fragile it is compared to the forces at work in the universe. That's really what I'm looking for.
Well, let me say something really quick as a Trekkie, and I'm the next generation, #TNG. Thank you, you're out there. The idea of Star Trek was that it was exploration, not war, not colonialism. We were going to go out there and we didn't care about race. The first interracial kiss was with Shatner. We didn't care about aliens or species. We were all out there to educate ourselves and learn. Star Trek, for a lot of people, is how people learned about space. And I really think Shatner going out there is a really nice thing, and I'm really happy about it.
It's going to be the most boring episode of Star Trek ever. It's going to be an older gentleman looking at blackness and then coming back. There's nothing up there. It's a waste of time.
Are you kidding
There's
me?
nothing that we can get close to that's
Al,
cool.
you got to believe in space exploration.
Go home and turn the lights off in your basement and you'll see the exact same thing.
How dare you?
Is he going to float, though? Is he going to,
Of course,
not have gravity?
Yeah, he should, but it's only for like 4 minutes.
You know he's going to think he's an expert because of his Star Trek days. But first of all, Al, if somebody walked in right now, Jeff Bezos walked in right now and said, Albert, I'm going to take you up on the rocket, you'd be like, boring. No.
I would take a picture of what you're wearing and be like, I met an alien up there. And then I'd post it and I'd say, thanks, Jeff.
All right, coming up on DBL. Oprah Winfrey reveals she only has 3 close friends. So we have to ask, how many close friends do you keep in your inner circle? And is Meghan Trainor just a bit too close with her husband? She reveals a custom home installation that, well, it's grossed us out. And Undiagnosed breast cancer is on the rise because of the pandemic. Dr. Coley weighs in on what you should do if you've missed routine exams. She joins us next, live.
Closed captioning provided by
We forgot to leave her out. She definitely, in our opinion, knew who he was.
I think so. She said
she bears responsibility too. You don't go up to a married man. I never would.
She said she didn't know who she was. She tweeted out a picture. Or
yeah, she
tweeted
on her
something else.
Instagram. She goes, "This guy keeps flirting with me." Apparently, he had some kind of ownership with that bar. I think he owned that place, and I think he. This is my theory. I think he went over there originally to have some drinks, take some pictures with people, saying, "Coach, this guy's my daughter's friend, whatever."
Right.
And I think he kept having whiskeys. And yeah, have you ever been at like a bar kind of restaurant where it turns into a nightclub?
And then you're like it's time to leave.
The lights come down.
Owned the restaurant
Right, that's
next door. Okay, he owned the restaurant next door, and then they, in a group, went next door to get a drink after they had dinner or something.
And to be fair, he was a coach at Ohio State, so he had a lot of friends in Ohio. The team went back. He stayed to visit his friends. Not making excuses, just setting up the situation.
Right, yeah, so I think that's what happened. And Chris, I was telling Jeff, I think what happened was sometimes you're at a bar or restaurant and like you're there, it's like 6:30, 6:50, and then at 8 o'clock, music starts coming up and the lights come down, you're like, people start dancing, you're like, oh, this is turning into it.
And that's when
I think
you
he
leave.
stayed, I know. By that time he was probably 4 deep and was like, hey.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happened. I'm not making an excuse.
No, I totally agree.
You know,
but as you get older, you know that transition, right? You're like, what's going on? I got to get out of here.
You got to get out of there. Jeff, I will say anybody that is watching, I've been out with you, I would say over 200 times. You always take your behind home. Every single time. You've never.
Yeah, I pull the plug. I have fun and I'm like, I'm out. Yeah.
Welcome back to DBL. October kicks off Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and this year as many as 12,000 women could go undiagnosed with the disease because of the pandemic. So Dr. Coley, thank you so much for joining us. So what advice would you give to women who have skipped their mammograms?
Sam, it's time for damage control. This virus has been winning, and a lot of us are worried that the next curve is going to be the cancer curve, the heart disease curve, all the screenings that we missed during the pandemic. So there's two things we need to do as women and men to screen ourselves for breast cancer. The first is mammograms. So if you're over the age of 40, you missed your mammogram once a year, it's time to go get it. And there's 500,000 women out there that are overdue for their mammogram that need to go get it. But the second is breast self-exams. So it's really important for us to check our breasts at least once a month. And we as women know how our breasts are supposed to feel. So we actually pick up a lot of cancers. Did you know that 50% of cancers are picked up by self-exam?
No.
And some are actually picked up by your partner, who can also pick up some cancers as well. So do you know how to do a breast self-exam?
I do, yeah. You know, I neglected all things breast cancer until my sister was diagnosed with breast cancer last year. And my sister is almost through the woods. She has one more surgery in a few weeks.
Hey.
Monica Gauthier, you are a warrior. But she was always on top of that, always on top of breast exams, always on top of getting her mammogram. I never did. I'm 41 years old and I had my first, I still don't do breast exams, I'll be honest with you, but I had my first mammogram. You and I talked about it. You actually drove me to go do it, and so did my sister. And that's life-saving. They said if my sister did not do her regular mammograms like she does, who knows if she would be alive today.
Not only that, Monica, you getting your mammogram could have saved Sam's life, could have saved your other sister Erica's life, because early breast cancer in a family member sets off an alarm bell that you need to start looking. And Monica, by doing what she was supposed to do, has actually probably diagnosed her cancer super early, when it's tiny, when it's curable, before it's spread, before it becomes that lump that you can feel, because actually we can't feel stuff until it's at least a centimeter, which is the size of a marble. So if you get those microscopic cells in there, that mammogram is going to pick it up and save your life. So kudos to Monica for setting an example for all of us.
Absolutely. All right, Doc, let's talk holidays, because they're around the corner. First up, Halloween. People are going to be getting together whether they're vaccinated.
Do you have a costume yet? Or?
I got something on deck. I got something on deck. I don't want to reveal too much.
He's cooking something.
Good one. What do we do to keep ourselves safe from bad jokes and from, the virus?
I don't know about bad jokes. I think you can't protect yourself from those, especially on this desk.
But zinger.
For the virus, so if you're not vaccinated, Jeff, I want to make a plea to all those Americans out there that are not vaccinated. Please go out and get that vaccine, because it's going to help us to celebrate our holidays the way that we want to. For you, I have a Zorro costume in mind, which has a mask in place, so that'll protect you as well.
Is that how you think about me? Uh-oh.
I love it. All right, well, Doc, I got to get this in.
Now that it's really weird, Al.
And we do have to switch gears, and this kind of speaks to a lot of people in my family, because high blood pressure runs in my family. A lot of people with high blood pressure might have something in their cabinet that's over the counter that could be really bad for them. Like, talk to us about what that might be.
Yeah, this is something that sneaks through actually for a lot of people, because people think if it's available over the counter, you don't have to worry about it. But if you have high blood pressure, there are a lot of medications out there like ibuprofen, decongestants like Sudafed, allergy medicines that have the D on it, like Zyrtec D or Claritin D, even some heartburn medications that have sodium in them. That can raise your blood pressure. So I sometimes have patients that come in and they've had a heart attack or a stroke because they've been taking ibuprofen for a few weeks because of knee pain or something like that. So it's really, really important to talk to your doctor, of course, about which medicines to avoid. But ibuprofen, decongestants, and anything with sodium, those are the ones to look at.
Life-saving information as always. Thank you so much, Dr. Coley. If you guys have a medical question you want answered by Dr. Coley, write us on social media. You can also email us at info@dailyblastlive.com. We will be right back.
Hey.
Home treatment for fighting COVID-19 is being shared online. It involves inhaling hydrogen peroxide through a nebulizer, the same device used in treating asthma. So let's verify. Is inhaling nebulized hydrogen peroxide a treatment for COVID-19? We went to these sources for an answer. Inhaling hydrogen peroxide can be hazardous to your health, and you shouldn't do it. The Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America made a stern warning in a September blog post stating it is dangerous. Hydrogen peroxide in liquid form is used as a mild antiseptic and an ingredient in household cleaners. While you might be exposed to it when you're cleaning your home or using toothpaste with added hydrogen peroxide, the quantities are diluted enough that it's safe to use. The Agency for Toxic Substances and Disease Registry said inhaling a concentration of 10% or more of hydrogen peroxide can cause severe irritation to the lungs or even burned tissue. In some extreme cases, inhaling it can cause respiratory paralysis. A 2021 trial conducted in Brazil gave mouthwash with 1% hydrogen peroxide and nasal spray with 0.5% hydrogen peroxide to patients with COVID-19. The trial found, quote, insufficient evidence to demonstrate that H2O2 is effective as an auxiliary treatment for hospitalized COVID-19 patients. So we can verify, no, you should not inhale nebulized hydrogen peroxide for any reason, and it's not a COVID-19 treatment. With your Fast Fact, I'm Ariane Till.
Welcome back to DBL. Do you talk to strangers? If not, maybe you should start, because a new study shows deep and meaningful conversations with people you don't know is actually good for your well-being. They said these meaningful conversations and connections tend to make people happier, even if they may seem awkward at first. I know that you talk to strangers because I've been in Ubers with you, and oh my gosh.
I love when they're from out of the country too. That's even better, because I can be like, oh, I visited your country, and I try to make them feel welcome. I love talking to strangers. You learn so much from strangers, and some strangers tend to be older too. I actually wrote down a show that I had an idea for. I'll just say because I'm never going to do it. But I wanted to just go up like at lunch. When you see people like sitting by themselves, I always have this notion to talk to them, but I don't. And I'm like, I just want to grab a tray, sit down with them, and film it, and just learn from them, talk
What
to
if
them.
they don't want to talk to you?
Well, then I pick the next guy. You know what I mean?
I don't want to be
And I say something snarky to them. But then, you know what I mean? I just always wanted to talk, because I feel so bad for people sitting by themselves alone when they probably have so much to offer, but no one to talk to because they might be scared.
I admire that a lot about you.
I do too. And
You're
talking
the
about
opposite.
Yeah, except that in Denmark and Sweden, I've been researching this. In libraries, you ready for this?
Look at Al's
You
face.
can rent someone to talk to for half an hour and learn about their culture.
Did you Google that?
Well, no, it's become a new thing in Denmark.
That takes the spontaneity, though.
But the idea of a total stranger, I'm going to take 30 minutes of your time, and we're going to have a one-on-one conversation about what you're like, what your culture is like, and it's really emphasizing the idea of cross-cultural conversation. How is this confusing?
I think that's weird.
You're setting it up. You're not just bumping into someone and be like, hey, what's up, stranger?
Some people have a hard time doing that.
No, that's taking the spontaneity out of it. And I know, I'm like you, I get awkward. But Dr. Coley, she's still in the studio, right? I want to know, Dr. Coley, from your medical perspective, do you think that this actually has merit?
Well, guys, I'm just glad that there's some science that makes us friendlier, makes us happier, and makes us more connected. I remember a few days ago I was on a plane, and the lady next to me kept talking and talking and talking, and I just wanted her to shut up.
Yes.
But now,
That's so honest.
I will admit my mistake that there is science out there that talking to strangers and opening up and being more connected makes us happier.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Coley.
I appreciate the honesty.
What about you and your neighbors?
No, I don't want to talk to anyone, ever. No, I have my thoughts, and I'm trying to gather them for the show, for stand-up, how I want to connect with my daughter, what I want to do for dinner with my girl. I don't want to have a little chit-chat.
I'm the same.
And this nonsense platitudes. Hey, man, just every day is a different day. Stop. I don't want to hear it.
Every time I peek
Get outta
outside,
here.
my husband's talking to another neighbor.
Your husband is the biggest schmoozer I know.
love it.
My husband
Biggest schmoozer I
thinks
know.
he's an introvert.
No.
You're not an
not.
introvert.
No, Mark,
you're not.
You are the mayor of
To
our
the
neighborhood.
waiter? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're a
He's a
chatty Cathy.
fascinating guy.
Yeah, you're not an introvert.
I like Tori. I pay for strangers to come over and talk to me. We meet randomly.
It's the thing.
I send them a check.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Tori's renting people again.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Coley, for your expertise. Coming up on DBL, Oprah talks about keeping her inner circle small with only 3 close friends. Can you guess who they are?
No new friends.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
For many of us, fall means football, sweater weather, and the seasonal flu. But now we've also got COVID to worry about. Our verified viewers are asking, is it true that you don't need to space out your flu and COVID booster shots? Let's verify.
Our sources are University of Louisville Hospital's Hugh Schaff and Kristen Nordland, a spokesperson with the CDC. They say there's no need to space out your flu and COVID shots, whether it's your initial dose or a booster shot.
And you can get both vaccines at the same time because it's different vaccines for different diseases. So when you inject those vaccines into you receive the injection, your body's creating antibodies to 2 different diseases.
And he says, bring on those antibodies. The CDC agrees. In an email to verify,
Spokesperson Kristen Nordland says getting both your flu and COVID vaccines at the same time isn't just convenient, it's recommended. She writes, co-administration of all recommended vaccines is important because it increases the probability that people will be fully vaccinated. In other words,
Really, the important part is just getting the vaccine.
so we can verify this is true. You don't have to space out your flu and COVID vaccines.
and yes, you may feel less than 100% for a few days after those shots, but health experts say you'll be far better off than if you came down with the flu or COVID. Their takeaway, get vaccinated. With your Verify, I'm Paula Vasan.
Don't miss a day of DBL.
I am here to receive said gift.
Bold debates. Come on now.
Enough.
Get real.
It blows my mind.
Hot celebs.
Happy 5th anniversary.
Love a suit, by the way.
Thank you.
Seriously, Al, give her a break. That just sounded weird, actually.
And all the laughs.
Yes, Erica, feeling it.
Okay, I'm done with you. I'm done. DBL is always all new every day. If you're leaving us, you can watch the second half of the show online. Watch on YouTube, dailyblastlive.com, or our DBL mobile app. But if you're sticking around, here is what's coming up. Sarah Silverman calls out Hollywood for quote-unquote Jew face. Should non-Jewish actors be playing Jewish parts? And it was Britney Spears' night on Dancing with the Stars, but was the evening a giant flop with last-minute COVID changes?
Let's connect the dots. This is all part of the Postal Service's new standards. USPS says 61% of mail will not be impacted by these changes. So what does that mean? Single-piece mail, so things like letters and bills that are traveling within the same region will still arrive within those 2 days. The Postal Service estimates that if you're trying to mail something less than 900 miles away, it will still get there in about 3 days. Items traveling further distances will take longer, up to 5 days. This is because the Postal Service is now relying more on ground transportation and less on planes. Ultimately, yes, it means it's cheaper for them. It also means you need to plan ahead. Mail things early, especially as we head into the holiday season. And that is connecting the dots.
Don't miss a day of DBL. Bold debates.
Enough.
Get real.
Hot celebs.
Happy 5th anniversary.
That just sounded weird, actually.
And all the laughs. Okay, I'm done with this. DBL is always all new every day.
Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane?
This is a sham.
No.
Y'all,
just stop. Finally here. Drum roll.
Wow, Tori just did the drum roll.
Shut up, Sam.
Okay. Welcome to DBL.
It's always good to kick the segment off by telling your co-host to shut up.
I'm Sam here with Jeff Allen, Tori. Let's get started. So this week, Dancing with the Stars celebrated Britney Spears with a Britney night. So Tyra Banks came out wearing a schoolgirl outfit similar to the one Britney wore in her video, Baby One More Time. So here's Tyra next to Britney. What do you guys think? Interesting. Tyra also changed into another outfit that was inspired by Britney's I'm a Slave for You performance at the 2001 VMAs. And Derek Huff missed the show because of a possible exposure to COVID. Cody Rigsby and his partner Cheryl Burke both danced virtually and separately because they did test positive for COVID. Watch.
What?
Okay,
that's
go.
the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And I think that Dancing with the Stars is great.
Dancing with the Stars.
You did say that very strangely. You should have been getting out of the stagecoach saying that.
Okay, let me just say this. If you got COVID and you got to be out for a week, go out for the week. Don't come on and do buffering with two 1994 computers of like, give me goo. No one can see you.
Well, what were they supposed to do? Get zeros for the week?
Skip the week or have a guest
but
star
it's
do a
scored
professional
week to
dance.
week.
Then do a professional dance with two professional dancers. Have Julianne Hough or someone come on and do it. That is embarrassing and it lowers your show. It just looks stupid and it looks unglossy. It looks unpolished.
But to be fair to everyone else on the show, you can't just skip a week, right? You'd have to drop out. And for them, this is like their one shot. Like, hey, let's go for it. They did get the lowest score, to your point, and I totally hear what you're saying.
Like, did you feel like...
But it's like, what, in 2 weeks, they could come back and possibly win the show. So if you got picked to be on Dancing with the Stars, wouldn't you want them to work around you having COVID?
Sure, give me the worst score that week, but take me out.
But then you're going to go home.
No. Oh, is that how it works? Or are they gone? I don't actually watch Dancing with the Stars.
We'll catch up on the rules maybe in a pre-production meeting. No, I would just say that the fact that even though they got the lowest score, which dance are we talking about, Sam? Theirs.
Dance.
They're keeping their name out there for another week rather than dropping out and leaving the public spotlight.
I thought it looked silly, but I give them kudos for doing the best that they could. When Ground Zero, and I say Ground Zero respectfully, but applying it to COVID happened in March 11th, and you were the only person in studio, and then a bunch of people were.
What about me? You just reached
I was about to.
No. How about
she
you guys?
was alone for a couple days. Then
no,
it was
she
you.
wasn't.
Yes, I was.
Oh. I thought you were.
Oh, yes, I was.
Okay, I just got a yes, she was.
Yes, I was.
Yeah, then it was you. But you're missing my point.
The show didn't come back till I got
Okay, then my point was, then all of a sudden when you were doing your Zoom, you were like in a gaming chair, and God knows where. You were like in a random kitchen, well, your kitchen, but there was like nothing in your kitchen with a random candle because there was man smell, according to Jordan.
But Sam,
that was memories of us.
Yes, but that was when COVID first hit. We've had a year to make things right with COVID.
This is their first experience. I'm just saying.
I'm sorry. I thought that network would have some money to spend so it would look nice.
I'm sorry. I was on your side going against Tori.
No, you skipped me and only talked about Tori saving the show at Ground Zero.
Al came in and you saved the show too, Al.
Thank you.
Very appreciative of Albert Jackson.
And I'm just smelly Jeff.
I'm just saying. Okay. Okay. Let's get to this next story. Comedian Sarah Silverman isn't laughing about non-Jewish people playing Jewish characters on screen. Sarah is taking issue with the news that Catherine Hahn, a Catholic, was cast to play Joan Rivers in an upcoming limited series. But on her podcast, Sarah said Hollywood has a long history of using Gentiles or non-Jewish actors to portray Jewish characters. Watch.
Jew face, doesn't feel good to say, is defined as when a non-Jew portrays a Jew with the Jewishness front and center, often with makeup or changing of features, big fake nose, all the New Yorkie or Yiddishy inflection. And in a time when the importance of representation is seen as so essential and so front and center, why does ours constantly get breached, even today, in the thick of it?
Tori, what do you think about this?
So I think two thoughts can be true. I don't think if you're Italian or Japanese or a certain character, you have to play that character. I don't go with that. I think when you're acting, you're acting. However, in Joan Rivers' case, I get it. As a Jew myself, not only was she an iconic Jewish female that broke the ceiling, the rhythm, the flavor of being a Jew sometimes feels like it comes culturally from inside. And having a non-Jew do Joan Rivers feels a little funny. And I say that with respect to Miss Hahn, Catherine Hahn, she's very funny. But to not pick a Sarah Silverman or another Jewish star leaves one to scratch their head. And I would say Jews often were played in the 30s and 40s with the big noses, and they were always getting money, and they were bankers. That's an old trope. We're done with it. It might have been nice to have an iconic comedian, Jewish, play Joan Rivers, an iconic Jewish comedian.
Yeah, I like that you said it feels funny. And what I meant by that, Jeff, is when we speak about things now, Sam, everything's got to be, I was outraged, I was offended, you made me feel like, it just, sometimes you're like, I just wish you kind of maybe would have picked a Jewish actress to play this part. Obviously, anything we're talking about prosthetic noses, that needs to be gone forever and wiped from the earth. But there are situations I brought up, like when I went to go see Hamilton and George Washington was played by a 6'5" black man. If we push back against anybody different playing a different role, then eventually it's going to circle back to you and it's going to say, well, what's up with Hamilton? And then what could I say?
Yeah, we did this story with what's his name playing Mario from the Mario Brothers?
Chris Pratt.
Yeah. I totally get what you're saying, Tori, and you're right. Sarah Silverman, I think, would be fantastic.
That's
Joan Rivers. But I think we're going, not in this case, but in general, too far. For Chris Pratt not to play Mario because he's not Italian, what's next? Sam, you have blue eyes. You can't play this brown-eyed woman. They're actors. They're portraying someone else.
Right.
So to get the job, you have to be that in your real life. Excuse me, are you Catholic? You can't play this part.
Right.
That doesn't make any sense. We're taking it a little too far. Not in this case.
Right.
I see what you're saying, but in general, when does it stop?
Isn't it funny how there always has to be this blanket rule when there shouldn't have to be? I agree with you. There's no discernment anymore. Why can't we take things case by case basis? Why do we have to say this is inappropriate? We can't have certain actors play certain parts because of their culture. How about we look at it case by case? You know, obviously when it comes to...
Because nuance is difficult, Sam.
Nobody has nuance.
It's mental push-ups and chin-ups, and people don't want to do it.
Yeah.
They just want to be, you're right, you're wrong. Not like, let's look at this. How does this make you feel? Well, here's how I feel. That takes a lot more work, and a lot of times that does not happen over Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, unfortunately.
Yep. Okay, Oprah. Well, she says she only has a handful of close friends in her life. She revealed who they were on her Making Space with Hoda Kotb podcast. Listen.
So I don't have a lot of friends. Everybody knows Gail, there's Maria, there's Bob. And that's about it. I never really expanded that circle until recently. I've become friends with a couple of people in my later adult life.
I wonder who. Oprah said she, Gayle King, and Maria Shriver have been friends for 42 years. And Bob is fitness expert Bob Green. Al, you always have a saying since I've known you, no new friends. Although we are all your close friends.
No new friends, homie.
Yes, yeah. But there's been a lot of vetting. How many hours have we spent together on live TV, but more off, voluntarily? And I mean, we've had good times and bad times and cry with each other and laugh with each other. So there's been a different vetting process. But I do think people throw the word friends around a lot, Sam, and it's going to get you hurt. When you don't know who you can trust, I always say this. This is how you can tell who's your friend, really quickly. Think about your name accidentally getting in the newspaper and it's attached to the worst thing in your head that you, child, death, murder, whatever. It's on the front page. Who do you call?
Right.
Who's going to pick up the phone? That's your friend. Anybody else is just somebody you drink with. Anybody else is somebody you sit next to on the bus every day. We've been next to each other 10 years. Doesn't matter. Who do you call that day? That's your friend. Everybody else is somebody you're friendly with.
Yeah, I agree. I have a tight group of friends, and it's your friends are who you share your insecurities with, right? Something that you tell somebody that they're not going to judge you for, but you talk to them and say, hey, I want to learn from this. I'm embarrassed about this. I need to get through this, and they help you through.
There's no judgment.
If there's people who say, oh, I'm here for you, and then talk behind your back or write something else or don't do that, those aren't your friends.
Right.
So you got to have a tight group. Even though I love talking to strangers, I love meeting new people. No new friends,
Boundaries.
homie. That's my saying.
There's a saying, I really like it. There's a saying that I really love that I want to teach everyone.
That's Al saying, but I stole it.
And it's Drake saying.
And it's Drake saying. The saying goes, learn who is a check and who is a bill. And that in terms of friends, meaning who do you constantly have to invest your time and energy with, and who is actually investing in you? I heard that and it sort of changed my mind. Like, a month ago.
Yep.
And you start to see who's sucking your energy and who do you want to invest in you. And it's a different way of looking at it.
That is so true.
I think it's interesting.
Yeah, and just at 41 years old, same thing. I'm, isolating people that make me feel not empowered or drained, and the people that uplift me, and I feel like I could call, God forbid something horrible happened.
Right.
Those are the people I want in my inner circle.
Right. And there can be a lot of people in your outer circle. Some people are like,
That's
hey,
okay.
Friday night happy hour, I call this
like
guy.
that. Different.
But they're not who you call when something,
Exactly.
That you bought.
This next story I feel like is Jeff's nightmare. Is this your nightmare?
This is Al's story. I got to give Al credit for
this. This was my nightmare.
I know. Okay,
yes.
so Meghan Trainor and her husband Daryl are really, really close. But are they too close? Meghan was on the Why Won't You Date Me podcast with Nicole Byer and confessed that she and her husband go to the bathroom together. Have a listen.
So I was like, can we please have 2 toilets next to each other? So we...
Bro, I'm telling you, it is insanity.
That's an exclusive.
You guys
Wait
are
a minute. We got
I'm
2
sorry.
toilets sitting next to
Excuse
each
me.
other.
So she built 2 commodes next to each other so they could go to the bathroom at the same time.
Commodes? What year is this?
I'm also going to my blacksmithing
General
class.
of the 1920s? Commode. I understand, and Tori, you openly admit like you're in a codependent relationship, but I think this is taking a step.
Disgusting.
That's disgusting.
But I mean, there are levels to this, homie. This is I don't do any of this. I don't even no bodily functions at all around me. I like to keep my partner at a different level. Like, you're not my homeboy. And so that's just me. I understand that Jeff's a little different.
What do you mean?
Not with this, but
no, I have an open door policy when it comes to going to the bathroom.
What?
Let me tell you why. So I don't mind. I don't want toilets next to each other. There's no privacy anymore. You're married, kids running in and out. There's no privacy. But me and my wife did meet on Big Brother, okay? You're in a house with 16 other people, 1 toilet.
Ugh.
Okay, so you get to know each other pretty quickly. So we came from that background.
That makes sense.
Now we have an open door policy. We're okay.
What?
We don't want to.
I like the mystery. Although
What
the
mystery?
kids...
You're going to lay in bed with a stomach ache? You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, this is a great show.
No, I just go excuse myself to the bathroom. I don't have
But
the
he
door
knows where you're
open.
going anyway.
So
We
what?
have an
Do I have the door open?
we have an unwritten. There's an upstairs bathroom and a downstairs bathroom. And if you're using the downstairs bathroom, I know what time it is.
Okay.
Yeah. So if I hear somebody going down the stairs or vice versa, then that's what's happening.
That's
if I
exhausting.
Look.
Keeps things.
Yeah. I don't want
like we don't know what happened.
Yeah, but I don't want to absolutely know. I want to guess.
Yeah.
I'd rather.
Yeah.
I don't want to know because sometimes you can't unsmell things.
Right. And as a parent, though, you're right. Like, no matter if I have the door closed or not, Mark can stay his distance. Both kids and the new dog all come in. I'm like, I can't. I can't.
Lock the door.
What do you got going on?
I should know.
I think
Let me bang.
you know what I'll say? I'm a little bit more on your side, and Brooks is more on your side. And he wishes I probably wasn't so relaxed.
Yeah, I don't want to.
I'm not saying I'm like, I would never do this. This is crazy. But I'm someone that's like, we know what's happening. We've been married almost 8 years. But he wishes.
Will you carry on the
there was more
conversation
mystery.
through the door?
Yeah, I'd leave the door.
I feel
don't
like
care.
you would.
Yeah.
No.
I still like giggle. Like if there's a good one, I'm like, oh. I'm like, you don't. Stop it.
I don't.
No, I don't either. Mystery.
Yes, team mystery over here.
Mystery.
Yeah. Sometimes it's worse imagining it.
Imagining.
You know what I mean?
See,
Like,
you two are a lot more alike than you realize.
No, we're not.
I was going to say something, but I think we've got it.
Next in Heart Threads, this woman lands a job at the same hospital that treated her as a child. You don't want to miss this heartwarming story coming up next.
Closed captioning provided by
Really quick.
Chris
over here
What is
just
Instagram
told us something.
options?
Sorry. His social security is 211. Just told us he won't even brush his teeth in front of his wife.
That's insane.
That's insanity.
Brushing teeth is gross. It's just gross. Yeah, it's nasty.
No, I like to have mystery. Mark and I share everything but
Did you ever see the movie This Is 40?
Yeah.
It's like so true. When he's like, it's payback time. What's this? And he has to, like, it makes his wife like, but it's true. The bathroom, it's all off. I mean, it's
way open. And a lot of people writing in, Jeff, oh no, grew up one bathroom, but it's 2021. What mysteries
First of all,
left
people
stand?
watched me going to the bathroom
Yeah,
for
they
3
did.
months. Not exactly, but they watch me going in there. And that's an aspect of Big Brother people don't talk about.
Don't you just want a little you time where it's just quiet
Yeah,
in
I do,
there?
I do, yeah.
Like, just like, I don't
Yeah.
want to, like, like if somebody's knocking on the door, I'm like, whatever it is, I can't help you now. I can't. So, like, why are we...
Sophie and Miles start banging on the door, I just want to...
Do you remember Alice season 1? He would just go to be by himself in the bathroom, and there's always one person, and I won't name names, but always go as soon as he walked in. And Al would be like, the anger, the humility, the violation, the violation.
Almost like almost deliberate, because I don't want to say I don't want to give anything
Good
away.
cover. They're no longer here. They're no longer here. Yeah, but it was
deliberate.
There was like, because after a while I was just kind of like doing test runs,
Right.
And it like immediately.
Corey, that's you up there.
I don't think I don't
Or do
think
you
they
want to
liked
see
me
my
in that
outfit? Because it's
Hey, listen, it's what you guys work. You know what I mean? I think it's part of like falling in love with someone. But it's
Or
like
can I show
I'm
off
cool
my
with that, and I think you build
'Cause it
to a
is pretty
certain
cute.
level to be.
I could see it because
I don't want to get up every time I need to do something. You know?
Oh man, I have to. I want to keep that like.
Welcome back to DBL. You won't believe how this nurse came full circle to thank her childhood hospital. Her incredible story is today's Heartthreads.
This woman is the newest nurse at the same hospital that treated her as a child. Ashton Fritz was diagnosed with leukemia right before her 6th birthday. She made it her life goal to be a nurse. And now she's working on the same floor she was treated as a kid.
Coming back, I kind of still see the energy that was there 16 years ago. And like the staff here is awesome, and I see them go above and beyond for patients just like they did for me.
Ashley was told she'd be behind in school from the treatment. She used those doubts as motivation and graduated from East Tennessee State University in May.
Really cool to kind of get to prove people wrong and to come back to the place where, I mean, these people saved me.
Ashley always dreamed of helping kids, but didn't expect it to happen so quickly.
When I got the interview, I was over the moon. And then when I found out I got the job, I remember I called my mom. She was so excited, and I was just like, there's no way this is real. And for a long time, especially growing up, I didn't know, like, why me? Why did I have to go through that, and why did other kids not? But looking back now, like, I wouldn't change a single thing. Because it did. It made me who I am today, and it made me a fighter.
Ashley brings a unique perspective to each patient she serves.
It's just amazing to get to watch these kids, because even though I was one of them, they still amaze me, and it's just incredible what these kids can do.
I love Heartthreads. We'll be right back.
And DBL is celebrating by bringing attention to those who have left their mark on Hispanic culture. Today we honor J Balvin. The Colombian singer is one of the best-selling Latin music artists, selling more than 35 million records worldwide. He's been dubbed the Prince of Reggaeton. In recent years, he has been outspoken about his struggle with anxiety and depression, becoming an advocate for mental health, in spite of the stereotypes within Latin America.
A dangerous home treatment for fighting COVID-19 is being shared online. It involves inhaling hydrogen peroxide through a nebulizer, the same device used in treating asthma. So let's verify. Is inhaling nebulized hydrogen peroxide a treatment for COVID-19? We went to these sources for an answer. Inhaling hydrogen peroxide can be hazardous to your health, and you shouldn't do it. The Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America made a stern warning in a September blog post stating, "It is dangerous. Hydrogen peroxide in liquid form is used as a mild antiseptic and an ingredient in household cleaners. While you might be exposed to it when you're cleaning your home or using toothpaste with added hydrogen peroxide, the quantities are diluted enough that it's safe to use. The Agency for Toxic Substances and Disease Registry said inhaling a concentration of 10% or more of hydrogen peroxide can cause severe irritation to the lungs or even burned tissue. In some extreme cases, inhaling it can cause respiratory paralysis. A 2021 trial conducted in Brazil gave mouthwash with 1% hydrogen peroxide and nasal spray with 0.5% hydrogen peroxide to patients with COVID-19. The trial found, quote, insufficient evidence to demonstrate that H2O2 is effective as an auxiliary treatment for hospitalized COVID-19 patients. So we can verify, no, you should not inhale nebulized hydrogen peroxide for any reason, and it's not a COVID-19 treatment. With your Fast Fact, I'm Ariande Till.
Welcome back to DBL. Shopping for your kid's favorite toy this holiday season might be harder than expected. We're chatting about it on today's Bang for Your Buck presented by The Hartford. According to the Toy Association, this year's sales are already up 18%, and that momentum is expected to continue. So here are some shopping tips. First, stock up now. It might seem silly to start buying now, but that's exactly what you should be doing. Next, expand your search. If you can, select the curbside pickup option. Online orders can get canceled by retailers if they run out. And last, widen your list. Encourage your kids to ask for a few different gifts. And if you want to treat yourself too, we've made it easy for you. For quality and affordable insurance, the Buck's got your back. Call the Hartford at 1-800-683-7108 or visit thehartford.com to learn more. You're the most experienced dad on the panel.
Yeah.
What advice would you give?
I'll just say, listen to your kids. It's no longer like everybody wants a Cabbage Patch Kid. Every kid wants something very specific. Throw it into Google. You will be able to find it and buy it.
I have one of the original Cabbage Patch dolls.
Do you really?
Yeah.
All right.
She brought that freak show in.
That wasn't a Cabbage Patch doll. That was a Samantha doll.
Oh, that's a freak show.
You're right.
Cabbage Patches are cute. That's a freak show.
That doll's
We'll be right back.
terrifying.
That's my American Girl doll.
Yeah, you're lucky it didn't
keep it in that box.
Keep it in the box.
Have you seen that doll?
Yeah, it's scary.
My God.
My original Cabbage Patch.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
For many of us, fall means football, sweater weather, and the seasonal flu. But now we've also got COVID to worry about. Our Verified viewers are asking, is it true that you don't need to space out your flu and COVID booster shots? Let's verify.
Our sources are University of Louisville Hospital's Hugh Schaff and Kristen Nordland, a spokesperson with the CDC. They say there's no need to space out your flu and COVID shots, whether it's your initial dose or a booster shot.
And you can get both vaccines at the same time because it's different vaccines for different diseases. So when you inject these vaccines into you receive the injection, your body's creating antibodies to two different diseases.
And he says, bring on those antibodies. The CDC agrees. In an email to Verify,
spokesperson Kristen Nordland says getting both your flu and COVID vaccines at the same time isn't just convenient, it's recommended. She writes, co-administration of all recommended vaccines is important because it increases the probability that people will be fully vaccinated. In other words,
really the important part is just getting the vaccine.
So we can verify this is true. You don't have to space out your flu and COVID vaccines.
And yes, you may feel less than 100% for a few days after those shots, but health experts say you'll be far better off than if you came down with the flu or COVID. Their takeaway, get vaccinated. With your Verify, I'm Paula Bassan.
Don't miss a day of DBL. I am here to receive said gift. Bold debates. Come on now. Enough.
Get real.
It blows my mind.
Hot celebs.
Happy 5th anniversary.
Love a suit, by the way.
Thank you.
Seriously, Al, give her a break. That just sounded weird, actually.
And all the laughs. Yes, Erica, feeling it. Okay, I'm done with you. I'm done. DBL is always all new every day.
on DBL, legendary comedian Bill Engvall will be here live while he's retiring from the road. Plus, country music group Old Dominion talks about their new album, Time, Tequila, and Therapy.
I remember it like it was yesterday, 'cause it was. And I was letting the sun and the rum just do what it does.
That's tomorrow on DBL.
Welcome back to DBL. Okay, Al, we found a photo of your gaming chair.
Oh, no.
Okay, so, yeah. So we have the goal to go after Dancing with the Stars, trying to do their due diligence and make the best with what they have for COVID.
Okay. Can I explain that?
Yes.
That was a couple weeks into COVID. I had driven to LA. I was at my kids' room in their ridiculous chair, and I looked like I was from the future.
You did.
And I looked crazy, but that's what the setups looked like before we understood lighting and things like that. Dancing with the Stars doesn't have that anymore.
But remember, you were just talking when we were at each other's houses. They were trying to dance with each other. That's what sort of got it for me. I was like, don't dance with each other in separate rooms on Zoom.
Trying to make lemonade out of lemons.
I know. I didn't like the lemonade. I'm sorry. What? I'm allowed?
You're a terrible person.
I'm gonna let you guys just.
I love it. I say we just be quiet till the end of the show.
I said we all get gamer chairs.
Be quiet.
What?
Let's do that.
No,
they look great.
Big chairs.
DBL's new every day. We'll see you.